We are back. Every time I say level, no, it's episode 15 of Kobold Kingmaker. We have returned after a little bit of a hiatus because I just moved. So now I have my own place. Gonna be much better, and maybe I can be a little bit more cringe with my voices. I don't know. But that being said, um, who wants to do the recap if you can for your extra hero point? I always enjoy that silence, but yeah.
Yep. I mean, Gaz always needs it, but he doesn't, so it always goes to Kiva.
I am always blanking on what happened.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm able to do
Gotta
it.
lower
The few
Nick's down
times
a little bit.
Yarmus grabbed it, we learned why.
Yeah.
We learn again that alchemists don't do very many
Well,
dice rolls.
remember also, you can give out the hero point. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to just because you do the recap, you can give it to anybody. It's like a party hero point at that point. Yeah.
Yeah. I understand that.
Hey, takers.
I'll give it a try.
Sure.
All right. So we had heard about an evil tree from the satyr that we were asked to track down from Old Beldame. So we hunted it down. We took it down. It was a little tough due to its bark and its tendency to lie in ambush, but it was fine. And Old Beldame was satisfied with how we took out the satyr and asked us to bring the werewolf over, and we decided, we're just gonna try to keep goodwill going and not confront her about the tree or anything. So we did. We brought the werewolf over. The cure apparently worked. He wasn't able to give us any kind of a reward, but he said that he'll put in a good word about us, and he headed back south toward where he's from. And as for Beldame, we agreed not to develop the lands around her home. In town, Keston Gures had alerted us to a recent immigrant and a rabble-rouser in our tavern. He's been spending most of his days sullying our good name and causing unrest. We're probably going to have to deal with this at some point, so let's keep that in mind. Afterward, here's the real meat of the story. We finally went out to Candlemere Island to investigate talk of the will-o'-wisps. We fought a shambler right away and got kind of beaten up, so we came back the next day. The island itself seemed to have some kind of a weird fear effect around it that was really messing with our emotions. We fought off a will-o'-wisp and found the ruins of a tower with a basement, and there were some runes in the walls talking about Yogg-Sothoth, some eldritch outer god who deals in unknowables. And a little creepy. Yeah. There was a chamber with a ring of runes on a pedestal and a bunch of stone spheres. And when we approached, they started coming together into the form of a construct with a flaming brazier. We fought it off. Oh, got burned a little. And some runes around it said Yogg-Sothoth, who knows the gate. Yogg-Sothoth, who is the gate. Past, present, future, all are one in Yogg-Sothoth. I'm terrified.
Mm-hmm. And sorry, go ahead.
I'm terrified that you memorized the entire insane ramblings of a cultist.
Interesting that you think I memorized it.
Just burned into the mind. So, with that being said, you can take the hero point. It can be used by anyone. You can give it out to anybody at any time. But for now, as you guys had just dealt with that strange spherical golem of whatever make, it is now destroyed, and, well, you guys had also, I believe, since this is open, just at the end of the session found that there was some sort of secret passageway leading into some dark, dusty room.
Well, we should definitely be taking the secret passageway. Otherwise, my work would have been a waste. Makes sense, right?
I mean, I don't see any reason why we shouldn't take the secret passage straight away.
Yeah, I agree. It's probably a treasure room of some sort.
Either that or maybe some religious reliquary.
Are you two going to be okay? You're not looking too good.
Still loud.
Hurts a bit, but yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah.
I can always just patch us up if we need be, but obviously it's gonna take a little while.
Yeah, some of you certainly took some wounds from it, some burns from the brazier and such. But yeah.
I would need 10 minutes to get some of my energy back anyway.
If that's the case, I may as well go ahead and do it, shouldn't I?
Go right ahead. You guys, the other ones who aren't, healing or refocusing, keep watch around for any other creatures of the darkness down here. But seems like the silence also befalls stillness down here. Nothing comes along during those little short rests that you guys are taking.
I'll heal up Giraffe.
Okay.
Thank you.
I spend the whole 10 minutes meditating.
Since it's assurance, I'll just heal.
Your focus still able to sort of feel the influence of Shellin, even in a dark place like this.
Thank you.
Of course it can. This place would be gorgeous if it was maintained.
Kiva, I don't think we need to take over this cultist hideout.
Oh, you have something against dark, cramped quarters like this?
To be fair, if we didn't already have a capital, this would make a great city.
You don't feel weird at all here?
I mean, aside from the ancient probably cursed cultist things around here, not too bad. I mean, I am feeling somewhat nervous, but surely we could also weaponize that for us, right?
Do you wish to feel that every night when you're sleeping?
I have no interest in weaponizing something that causes fear indiscriminately.
I mean, I probably could figure out a way to get myself to sleep even with my heart beating out of my chest, but I see your point.
She sounds uncomfortable. Either way, we'll probably want to be getting rid of it now, but it's so close to our capital. Who knows if this aura of fear can spread or not?
We should let it spread to our capital.
Why?
Imagine if people just never were able to attack us because they got too afraid when they approached us.
Your idea is
imagine-
bad and you should feel bad.
I agree with Kiva.
Gaz gives a cheeky grin and shrugs.
Keep it grins.
Imagine that people can't work or mine all day because they're feeling too bad all the time.
Are you done patching each other up?
Let's take a look at what's ahead down here.
I'm being pinged. I need to make sure I'm not being pinged in Discord. There we go. You're not disturbed. Okay, yes, so you guys do start heading down these stairs, and you find before you where the air has become particularly stale in here, with a thick layer of dust that lies in heaps on the floor. Stone shelves on the walls hold fragments and pieces of long since crumbled supplies, but here and there something whole still seems to remain intact. As you guys aren't sensing any danger in here, you have a quick look around, and there is a bit of stuff that you could bring with you. A wand that seems to still brim with the magics of ages past, some dust of disappearance that you've found before as well, sort of contained in a ornate bronze canister.
Gaz looks with disapproval at the rather underwhelming treasury. Who the heck locks their armory? Puts a guardian in front of it too.
Followers of Yogg-Sothoth, it seems. So this might be useful if you find any more owlbears.
Parent swipes the wand after looking
For
at
a
it
moment, I thought you were referring to that wand. I got really concerned that somehow owlbears could turn invisible.
Well, now with this in our hands, we really could make one invisible.
Oh no.
Okay.
Hopefully this time it would be one of our friends. Well, not the owlbear being a friend, not necessarily a wild, ferocious thing.
These guys had looked around. Nothing else seems to catch your eye other than like broken spearheads and, shattered crates. At some point it may have been pilfered before, but now you've taken the rest. And you also see what seems to be the back of another secret door, leading down some more stairs to the left of Kiba.
Parent is gonna keep his wand of see invisibility at the ready. He's gonna keep it held in hand.
Okay.
Are these difficult to open? Shall I handle it?
I don't think it's gonna be difficult to open, but I don't really know what we're afraid of. It doesn't really seem to be inhabited around here.
What if there's another golem standing on the other side of that thing?
Everything
we
in here
killed
is
one.
scary. As a result, we shouldn't worry about it. Otherwise, you'll just work yourself up into even more of a despair. Anyway, how do we get this door open? I start trying to
And
power it open.
seems like just like the other one, there is like a little stone that could be depressed on this side. It's a little bit more apparent since you're on the inside of the secret door, so not really secret from this side. And you open it up, and you're surprised to find that the room beyond is well lit. Seems to be that a burning metal rod is stuck in the ceiling of the room, providing it with fitful illumination. The north and south walls, as you're peeking your head through, each seem to have 3 enormous arches surrounded by tiny runes. The central arch to the south and each of the side arches to the north lead to staircases. The other 3 arches surround only blank stone and shadowy darkness.
Might there be someone about? It's very odd to see lighting active after all these years.
So you guys step in. Those of you searching as your explorations, do roll your perceptions.
Do I detect any magic in here?
Send out the feelers for the detection. That'll be still a perception check from you.
Okay.
So you feel a ping and you look up looking for it, and you do sense that that burning metal rod is something magical. And getting a little bit closer to it, Kiba can realize no heat comes off from it. And the rest of you, looking through the room. Yarmos, if you had hairs, they would stand up at the back of your neck, as you get the sense that you're being watched from the corners of the room, sort of the dark sort of arches of it. You try to stare into the darkness of them, or just glance at them. Your mind plays tricks on the shadows of it, making out forms within. But you're able to warn your allies before those forms actually do become real, rather than tricks of the mind, as these creatures of the darkness itself, shadows reaching from them, start to appear around the room, all in those sort of alcoves of darkness themselves. And I need you guys as initiatives.
Wonderful.
Oh, joy.
Seems familiar.
Oh, hey. I forgot that I added the new combat carousel thing at the top.
Ooh, fancy.
See if I can make it bigger, though. Oh, that made it
that's
bigger on
fun.
my end, but not on the server's end. I do want to make it bigger over there. Give me 1 second. Actually, then I would have to turn it off to be able to get into the thing. Yeah, so we'll have to deal with that for now. We'll refix it later.
Oh,
Hey.
cool. They're
Mhm.
right next to each other.
Well, they aren't just yet. They haven't rolled. Because I was distracted by this new turn marker thing at the top. Definitely need to make that bigger for the stream. But for now, we get to the game, starting with... What the hell? Oh, this is like Divinity. Okay. That's how they're dividing it. That's weird.
Oh, that's
Huh.
Oh,
fascinating.
Oh, there's
Well.
4.
That'll be getting used to there. So, with that, let's get to combat. Starting with this one, as it leaps out from the halls, the armor is shouting to the allies that something is coming here. It will immediately sort of slink around to the shadow that's being cast by that torch from Parenth to their back. And as they are able to do so, they seem to be able to hide within that shadow itself. They're going to try to use their stealth to hide, which will certainly succeed against your perception DC, and since I've rolled that public, it's only for the effect of getting flat footing on their attack roll that they're doing right now. So as they hide in the shadows, they sort of like scratch up out from it and strike out, not critting like they would want with that flat footing, but certainly hitting. For a total of 6 damage to you, Parenth. That
I
is
will put out a
negative.
redemption on that one, which will completely negate it.
Okay, so you negate that
Um,
negative energy.
Enfeeble?
They will be enfeebled. That'll be their turn as we go to Parenth.
Okay. This is interesting. I'm gonna start with a recall knowledge on the shadow next to him.
Okay, so that'd be a religion check. Blind, of course. As you look at them, you can't say for sure, and you don't want to say anything that's false. Just going to be a failure on that check.
Okay. Remaining 2 actions, I'm gonna use Scorching Ray.
Okay.
That's 2 actions against these top 2 enemies.
On out the chat. One after the other. First roll will be a 10 total. That'll succeed, actually. The second succeeds again. Yeah, because of the 10. Roll damage for both of them. So the first one on the left, we'll take that 18 damage. Or it would. But it seems like these creatures are semi-incorporeal. The flames seem to go through them, but still batter them to an extent. The magic has that effect, but yeah, less damage. This one also takes 11 in total. And that'll be you, I think.
Yes, everything.
Now, Giraffe, your turn.
Alrighty. I want to go after the shadow that's harassing our wizard.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to stride over, aim, and double slice, using the Bloodthirst and my Mombele.
Okay. Bringing both of them up and slicing down in one quick motion. 16 on the dice. Well, that'll be an easy crit. Roll your crit for that. Bring it up, slash down, 35. Even with its resistance, that is destroyed. So
That's great.
I'm good with that.
I wasn't.
So, don't get the other part of your double slice, but either way, it is just eviscerated.
I did say double slice, so that would eat both my actions, even if I can't make my other attack.
Correct. Well, yeah.
I moved only like 20 feet from my stride. Am I able to break up my stride to have an action between, or no?
So, movement can only be broken up with other move actions. So, for example, you move like 10 feet to climb up something, and you use another move action to use the climb action, right? You can use the remaining movement that you had before to continue, but you can only chain move-traded actions.
I see.
And in my games, also opening doors, because you can bust through a door.
Yeah. In that case, that is my turn.
Okay, so we're going to go to this shadow. As it sees its ally eviscerated, doesn't seem to be cowed by it. It is going to try to get up, once again, into the shadow cast by Giraffe here and stealth in it, to see if they can surprise attack him. You see that one coming. You saw what happened to Parent. It's not going to surprise you as it leaps from your shadow and strikes out with a shadowy hand. Ooh, I was hoping for that natural 20. Went to the 8. Will be a hit, though. Did you heal from medicine there, or should you have?
I did, but it was only 8 points.
It was only 8 points.
Well, deal 6 of that 8, so struck into the negative energy seems to pull at your life force there, but that'll be that one's turn. Now this one down here, it's going to leap towards Yarmos, but it's not going to bother with that attempt at the stealth, so it's just going to go for a simple strike.
Wow, I should be offended.
7 of the dice. Everything so far is hit by 1, so this one also hits by 1. That'll be a total of 11 damage to you, Yarmos, and as it rakes into you, you feel it, after that raking, pull at your shadow. It does. It rakes a little bit of away, becoming enfeebled 1 on you. You feel a little bit sort of like strangely weakened at the loss of some of your shadow.
Hey, what? Give that back.
And that'll be its turn, as we go to you.
Yarmo's gonna try to attempt what Parents failed at and make a recall knowledge of his own.
You are able to figure out 2 things. First, of course, well, once I get through the main stuff is these are shadows, chaotic, evil, incorporeal, undead creatures made of the just evil, shadows of people who basically died in darkness. So they are undeads to an extent and incorporeals. What other things do you want to know? 2 things for a crit success.
What are their special abilities and what are their weaknesses?
So they have no weaknesses, but their special ability is essentially that they will try to steal your shadow multiple times, increasing that enfeebled condition, right? Once that enfeebled gets to 3, though, once it steals enough of it, it will be able to create another shadow spawn out of your shadow, adding more enemies to the fight.
That's pretty nasty. Never wanted to become a parent, but based on context clues here, it needs a shadow to do that, right? So in complete darkness, it will be able to steal that stuff?
Correct.
Gotcha. How high up is the rod in the ceiling?
It is 20 feet up.
Oh. Well. Seems a bit difficult for Yarmos in particular to do anything. But
As you look up, it seems to have been almost melded into the stone above, as if by magic. It would be quite difficult to take down, and it is a magical flame as well.
You can't get rid of the light, just make more light, am I right?
yeah, there'll have to be a lot of ambient lighting. We need to bring a sun down here.
Or dispel it.
Either way, Yarmos is going to use his scamper feet to get away and hopefully avoid too much hurting from any potential attacks of opportunity.
Doesn't seem like they have any as you rush away. It still gives you an extra 5 feet, right?
Yeah. He started the combat with a skunk bomb and a ghost charge in hand.
Mhm.
That's fine to say. He's going to with the knowledge that he newly gleaned, he's going to toss a ghost charge at this creature.
Sure. A swirling light in this charged bottle.
Oh no, apologies. I actually don't have a ghost charge. That's my sample I'm looking at. He's using his skunk bomb instead. Apologies.
Sure. Sling that off. And that will be a hit. Roll the damage. So we got the one as you rush away. Take 7 well, if
Yeah,
they are undead,
poison.
they're immune to poison, unfortunately.
Go-
So,
yeah.
to sling that off, maybe curse yourself a little bit that you didn't come prepared with those ghost charges, but
Yeah.
that being said, is that your turn?
Yep, that's it for his turn.
Alright. Gaz, your turn.
As per usual, he starts off with overdrive.
Alright. Gears cranking into motion. And you are able to do it as they go into full overdrive.
And with the info he's absorbed from Jarmos, he is going to first strike out at the shadow below him.
Okay.
Let's see how well that works. Not at all.
Not so, as he's able to slink out of the path of it.
And he is going to use his last action to slink behind everyone else.
Alright, as you guys sort of form up in this phalanx around each other, we're gonna go to the other shadow in the far left corner there, as it leaps out towards, well, the shadow sort of that's being cast by Kiba here. And for this one, does it want to do stealth, or it's gonna try to stealth? So, as it hides in the shadow that's being cast by you, what's your perception DC? You are not able to see it because champions aren't very perceptive. So they will not, or you will not see it coming before maybe too late. Flat foot for this attack. 9 of the dice though, won't make it a crit, not nearly so, but it's a hit. So they strike out, they'll deal 7 damage to you. Raking away at your life force. No longer flat footed, of course, that's going to be your turn. Kiba, what do you do?
Alright.
I've got my theories. It seems like they're keeping to our shadows, which means they're gonna stay at an orientation where we're between them and the light source in the room. Seems like it might be possible to block other people's shadows or stay against the wall so that they can't do that.
You may be right.
I think tells me they'll
we
probably be
can
able
do
to
that.
slip into the wall.
So you stand tall, you are able to persevere with your allies here. Critical success even.
Love that. Now I can move with no with no fear of God. No fear of getting them out of the aura. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I default to a one-handed grip, so I'm gonna have to move and strike, I believe, but that's the best way for me to approach this one. I don't want to go too far down. I might just, honestly, I might just stay put this time. Go for the two-handed stance and then strike.
Okay. Flipping it into proper grip and striking down. The bastard sword. One that you restored from that place, and it does strike very true. That is a critical success in that strike.
That's a crit. I love it.
Because of your inspiring martial stance, you took the time and focused yourself, and well,
What
being
the
hit
heck?
just like Giraffe. As you cleave down with the 2d12, 2d12 is going to do that. Yeah, it's at 1 health, or not 1 health, but very close to it. It took a lot of that damage. It took, with multiple damage types on your attack, incorporeal creatures resist each of them, not the damage in total, so that's why you only take 34 instead of 44.
Cool.
Either way,
Cool.
it does burn.
Quick, someone breathe on it. That's my entire turn.
It's a good one.
Is that you? Oh yeah, because you switch grip. I forgot about that. So
Yeah,
this one is dead. So Parent, we go to you instead.
Parent looked like he was contemplating putting out that torch, but with the state of things right now, he's just gonna go for the attack.
Mm-hmm. You guys have been rolling well. They've not been rolling so well.
He's gonna cast Electric Arc on the one by Draft and the one by Cuba.
Okay.
Is this our first easy? Is this our first moderate encounter?
Sorta, yeah.
We could argue that about the boy that Draft soloed.
I'm pretty sure since it was only giraffe, that was a severe or extreme.
Oh wait, you still had one targeted up.
Yeah, I got rid of it.
Yeah. Okay, so this one does take the full damage top. This one takes half, but it will take no damage because the half would be lower than, well, the resistance value, or equal to it.
I tried shield.
Okay, shield goes up. Always worth a try. We go to a giraffe here.
Oh yeah.
Why did it skip? There we go. Okay.
Okay, so this is gonna be weird. And I'm sorry, Giraffe, but this has to happen. I can reliably crit these guys, I think, so I'm going to move down to these other two.
Mm-hmm.
Stride down. They can't make opportunity attacks, no way, definitely not.
Not these.
And then I'm going to double slice this one below me and hope for a crit.
Mm-hmm. Bring your axe up. 15 will certainly crit.
This is
Cleaving
great. I'm loving this.
into
So that's
this one.
32. And this creature adjacent to the initial target, right here, by Kiba,
Mhm.
is its AC lower than
Yeah, certainly.
32?
Yeah. Your damage equal to the result of the weapon damage dice you rolled. Okay, so the result of your weapon damage dice was 10 on that. It'll take
Oh,
5
cool.
because of resistance, but that puts it down actually to 1 health.
And that was my first attack.
Slice through 2 at once. Let's see what you can do in the second. With the bloodthirsting mobile? Or is it still
I made it a hatchet.
Ah, gotcha. Alright.
It's only D6s, but it's agile, so it's great for double slice.
Yeah.
The parry is gone.
Oh, well, yeah. Crit. Once again.
Oh, cool.
To make this flurry of axe and slashes, strikes around you. 24 there will destroy this one. And do you get crit spec again, I believe?
Yep.
And the damage dice was 4 and 4, total of 8. Yep, half of that, or not half, we're not playing D&D 5e, it's specific value of resistance, which is 5. It gets past it, is dead too. As you eviscerate both of them in one swift,
that.
sort of cleaving charge.
This is great. That's my turn.
Okay.
That was a very good turn.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm so glad I chose axe specialization.
This shadow
Or we.
slinks into the wall, and they're gone. They're not sticking around for that at this point.
You don't want to die.
And that'll essentially be done, as you guys sort of wait for a moment to see if it'll come back out. It's hiding. It probably is looking for better prey in the future than you guys. So you guys dealt well with those.
That was exhilarating.
So you seem to have had a good time.
A lot less painful than the last fight, too.
First things first, Yarmos would like to. So Yarmos had recall knowledge in the fight, but would he be able to make an error to figure out if these things have like the intelligence and wherewithal to, for example, place a magical object in the room to make things easier for themselves?
Judging by things, you don't expect that they did that. They just happened upon it.
Seems awfully convenient. Maybe the cultists had some very interesting choice of security detail.
I
Oh.
could see that.
I'm just glad that went very smoothly, actually.
So, As you guys look around the room, yeah, the strange thing is that those arches, some of them just don't lead anywhere. And they each also have that same sort of script going along them. They don't
Like
seem
almost-
to say anything specific, but they do tell of locations, of distant worlds, deep within the dark tapestry. You have proper names and nouns for these places that are showing up in those scripts, but you have no idea what they are or where they would be in the universe.
Well, they're in a dark tapestry that narrows things down, right? How big can a dark tapestry be?
Well, nobody knows. Well, at least you don't. So, as you guys look around, there are those two staircases leading back up, and there is a further, wider staircase leading downwards as well.
I'd like to go back up first. Not to leave, but to ensure that our escape route is secure.
Are you hoping for another secret passage?
I didn't say that.
This room is looking pretty symmetrical.
I
wanna-
didn't say that either.
Is there a secret door here?
Rolling from before with your perception checks, that also counts for secret doors in the room. You didn't see anything.
Oh,
There's not
Pretty
one
smart idea, though.
there. I can throw you through the wall to make sure, but yeah.
I believe you. Don't worry. I agree with Kiba. We should make sure that whatever's up here isn't an issue, if there is anything up here.
Otherwise, it could theoretically block our escape.
Possibly.
Like
Though
the shadow that escaped.
yeah, it doesn't seem like anything in this dungeon is like actively trying to prevent us from proceeding. It seems more like we are stumbling upon things that are by now ancient.
Well, lead the way.
I will lead the way.
As you head up these stairs, it goes around a bend, and you find yourself looking into a decently large rectangular room, which does seem to connect to those staircases that you didn't go down earlier. As you see several stone benches lining the walls of this room, the east wall contains two openings leading to stairs. Of course, the one you came up, and the one that would lead further up.
Barenth's going to stop Kiba from moving forward.
As you see, the stone blocks of the ceiling have been badly scorched in strange circular patterns. Apparently you noticed that.
Are these magical?
Your detect magic doesn't catch a hint of active magic, no, but judging by the markings, they certainly might be. Roll me an Arcana check. Perhaps remnants of some spell. You're able to recognize that the unique blast patterns, and well, not really blast patterns, but seemingly like glyphic patterns in the ceiling, make it feel like something was summoned from beyond to crash into the room from above, a very high-level spell. Not sure which spell it exactly is, but I can hazard a guess.
I think you're good to move. Those markings on the ceiling, I don't think they're active, but they're summoning magic, some sort.
Interesting.
I'm certainly concerned. Guess is gonna keep an eye out for any traps he might spot.
Oh yeah, roll your perception checks for the room, if you are searching. it's a little bit. You've already been a little bit clumsy from that sunburn, but also that enfeeblement seems to stick to you. Your shadow isn't the same for the moment, though. It's slowly
wonderful.
reconstituting.
I was honestly expecting a second otherworldly stone statue beast thing.
As you guys look around, nothing is amiss in this room. No hazards, no enemies, and no loot as well. Seemingly some sort of rest chamber for the cultists of this place.
This is certainly an atypical lineup for pews of a church. But who am I to say on the practices of another faith?
Feels like a prison.
I know we've cleaned it over, but I still don't trust this room.
Well, how would you like to test that?
No.
I think I agree with Giraffe on this one.
Nothing pops out. You guys wait a moment. Safe enough.
Well, shall we keep going? Find our escape route.
I am slightly concerned about Giraffe's well-being still.
Oh,
Fine.
from the hit he took.
It's just a little burn. It'll heal.
You guys are walking around with lower health than you might
Recommended.
want.
We're in no rush. We could take 10.
There's even nice comfy seats here for that.
That way, Gaz can handle Giraffe, and I can handle Gaz.
That would certainly be helpful.
Are you able to medicine Giraffe again?
Yes, treat wounds doesn't have a cooldown as far as I know.
So, you do not have continual medicine?
I do not know.
So, that does mean he has an hour cooldown on it.
Dang
But,
it.
Oh.
for the purposes of it, Kiva can just focus and spam lay on hands, so.
Okay. Yeah,
I
can
mean,
Gaz
I-
treat himself?
I'll just, treat wounds myself in that case.
Yeah, for the purpose of it, you guys aren't feeling like you're in any rush. Nothing is rushing out at you, so you can take as much time as you need to refocus and heal,
So I imagine we just all fully heal. at this point.
Essentially, yes.
If you guys want, I'm up for it.
Yes, please.
I won't complain with that.
Look at that beautiful 18 that I do now.
Mm-hmm.
So gorgeous.
So yes, once you guys get yourselves back to full health, you may certainly continue at your own leisure.
If we go back, do you think I could pick up that shadow from from the creature that stole it?
You could always just try and see what happens.
I think shadow surgery hasn't been invented yet, Jamos.
Your shadow has been slowly reconstituting over the course of this almost hour. Seems like if you gave it like maybe 20 more minutes, it'd be fine.
He'll be good for now, I suppose. It's not like he's going to be slinging sledgehammers around.
Mm-hmm. So, as you guys go to the top of these wider stairs here, I have a little sort of wall thing, so if you step to the first staircase level, you'll be able to start seeing downstairs. But it does seem to go through one of those sort of metaphorical or maybe literal in their time portals. Archways. Doors to oblivion.
Fascinating.
Who wants to take the first step through the very obviously haunted arch?
Giraffe
I'm
has
not
been
afraid of
taking-
any hauntings.
Giraffe has been taking an astoundingly few of these honors recently.
You step through, Kiva,
And die.
no. You are, however, assaulted with the shape of inky darkness at the other end of the room here. Strange, oily black goo, something. it's almost like it is shadow manifest in a pool of liquid.
God.
As it slurps around very slowly. You aren't stepping into the room just yet, so there are other things you might be
Nope.
able to see.
And that is very concerning.
Oh boy.
Ralph, would you like to go drink that?
You first.
We've discovered a tar pit. What's got you all so nervous?
But you know how colonialism goes.
Parent is going to cast a spell from his wand.
Okay. See invisibility. You
It
blink your
lasts
eyes.
10 minutes.
And you don't see anything that is invisible to them. Who's going to work up the courage?
I will step forward. Come down to the bottom of the stairs.
And as you peek your head around the corner a little bit here, you do see more of those strange arched passages to nowhere on the left and right of the room. But you'll also start to see on the back wall of the room, sort of like along the wall that you're just along here at the top, you also see three strange dark shapes, like frozen shadows, lining the wall, as if rising out of the blackness at floor level, like shadows burnt into them.
What the heck is that?
That does not look like a tar pit.
Certainly
Could
doesn't.
I do a recall knowledge to see if I can figure out what this is?
Sure, occultism. Looking at it, you start to piece together what may have happened in this room, why that inky darkness is there at the other end. You get the sense that that is some sort of corruption from further below here. You're not sure what sort of thing it's coming up from, but it's definitely something corruptive. Some leftover of something. And looking at those shadows on the wall, those are all that remains of probably humanoids caught in some sort of ancient, powerful backlash of magic in this room. Basically a nuclear shadow.
Boy.
But you won't be able to tell what that corruption is coming from if you don't get closer.
What do you think, parent?
I can
Something
probably
tells
make
me
an
we're-
I can probably make an educated guess. Something bad.
It's eldritch goop. Of course it's gonna be
I
bad.
already feel more educated.
feel almost as if we're already dead just standing this close.
Maybe it burns.
Gaz is gonna pick up a rock and just try and chuck it into the mass.
Okay. You kick a stone over there, throwing it over. It sort of like hits the tar and like seeps very, very slowly into it as if it is very thick. But then it begins to rise up again. Along with it, this mound, this formation of these many mouths along this inky, black, tarry goop, as well as greens and purples coming with it. Some sort of just horrid abomination of mouths and eyes and, well, just twisted material rises out and begins gibbering at this just awful, constant mouthing of strange words and phrases. It might get to your heads, but first we need to roll initiatives.
I don't know whether kicking the rock was a good idea or not.
Oh boy.
Hey, I technically now have the perfect opportunity to make a reference to a video game.
So, I'm still getting used to this new way of it working, so we'll just go to the top with this creature, apparently. Yeah, it doesn't seem to work exactly as it should. It doesn't show the... Oh, no, I just made this guy way too big for the actual image around it. That's why. There we go. So, now, getting to this one's turn, it will immediately begin sort of sliding and slurping its way along the floor towards you guys. How much movement does it have? Okay. Then it seems to slowly make its way up to about here. And then it's going to bite Parenth.
It's
That's its final action. It will hit on that 5.
No.
As you are dealt 14 damage, some of that will be bleeding as these sort of sharp teeth from these gibbering mouths slice into you.
I don't appreciate that.
Yeah. That's going for the Glimpse of Redemption in feeble mode.
Yep, just hit the damage button and then give yourself back the damage. So you try to enfeeble this monstrosity, it will of course never go for redemption, but still going to be harmed by that. This one as well will begin to move up towards the group, slowly, once again, but this one will strike out at Gaz, and will certainly hit. For 15 that time, including of course bleeding damage being applied to you. As they sort of bite into you guys, getting close to you much more quickly than you might expect. Parenth, we get to your turn. What do you do? Actually, first, before we get to your turn, I need 2 will saving throws. As the gibbering of both of these creatures threatens to get to your head, you just
us?
barely... Not just him, because it's starting his turn. You just barely get through it. Any lower than that 19, might have certainly hurt you. Parenth.
That's concerning.
Okay. I am going to draw a wand. My wand of Burning Hands.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna cast Burning Hands on them.
Alright. Unleash a wave of fire before you threw that wand. I'm gonna roll.
Targeting both of them, like... I forgot to target both, sorry.
Yeah, you have to do it before you send the message out, but for the purpose of it, I'll roll it. And they both fail, actually. They don't seem quite reflexive, these creatures. So they will both take a total of 7. Burns into them easily enough, but it seems like their forms are much more hardy than those shadows were.
Just testing the waters, but that's all 3 of my actions.
Gaz. So you take some persistent bleed, make sure to take the 3 damage there and roll a recovery. You do get rid of it though. So you still take the damage though. Gaz.
Oh boy, will saves, right?
Yes, 2 of them. And I do appreciate whenever you guys remind me of auras, because I forget auras all the time.
Well, that's not good.
17 might not be good. However, actually no, it doesn't change the DC because I eluded this one. Okay. Yeah, you do fail then. So, unless you do a hero point, which certainly will allow.
Yeah, let's try that.
Alrighty. 17 will be much better as you try to steal yourself. You feel your mind getting away from you and just wanting to strike out random, going insane, but you're able to pull it back.
Somehow I feel like I don't want to stand next to Giraffe. I start out with another overdrive.
Should kick things into gear. And you fail to do so.
Dang it.
Taken aback by these creatures, you're a little bit distracted.
I will take a step back. And then still strike out at the thingy below me.
Okay.
I will miss my extra damage. Never mind, I'm gonna miss entirely.
5 of the dice. Didn't seem too hard to miss these guys, but did certainly do so as he stumbled back up the stairs. That'll be your turn as we go to Giraffe. Make sure to
Wisdom
take
save?
that damage. And will save
two.
on 2 of them, yes. So 2 will saves, yeah. Yep, guys, make sure to take that one. And Giraffe, 14.
Oh boy.
Should have a hero point.
Yeah, I think I will use the 1 hero point I currently have on that.
Let's see.
That's-
Not much better.
A
So,
little better.
as you hear the gibbering of these creatures, you already have been sort of close to frenzying at different times and all of that, but this time it just pierces through. You are confused, which means you will just make your simplest, most effective attacks at the closest target you have, which is going to be this gibbering mouther. So go ahead and roll your strikes.
Oh,
Thank
so I
goodness for
can't
that
even
corner,
stride.
right?
Oh,
You cannot stride. You'll just attack. Unless you
Okay.
are far away and need to stride to attack someone.
So that's just 3 attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Could be worse. Oh,
Could certainly be worse. Yeah, as
I
well.
was really hoping to move into position first so I can use the axing, but that's fine.
Can't be as efficient, but you can certainly still be as deadly as you cleave into this one. 22. It seems to hold up much more than those shadows did. Once, twice. This time, though, you will miss by 1. Just barely. Not able to strike in as it sort of grasps the blade with their teeth. You have one
Rude.
more.
And that misses.
Which will miss as well. Can't get another strike in. That'll be your turn as you're trying to fight off this gibbering in your mind.
Oh boy.
Kiba, we go to you. I need 2 will saves.
Alrighty.
22 and natural 20. You're not going to be falling to these dark creatures.
Okay, then I do my inspiring. Wait. You're right. I haven't done any turns yet. Do my inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
Success. Not the biggest aura, but still. Lead your allies forward.
It'll help parents still. And move and strike.
Okay. Getting rounds. As Giraffe is still very much a threat to it, it is flanked.
I never changed up what I'm doing with my hands, so go for a big 2-handed strike.
Will hit. And this time, as you cleave in, that'll be... I was checking for a moment. Why did it roll so many dice? Oh, you made another... Why did it make so many dice? Either way, that is
How many
definitely...
dice?
I don't know, it should be something different. But 17 damage in total does strike in. Just cleave it into its form. Yeah, that'll be... Actually... As you slice into it, it seems that your slice into this creature creates another maw as it sort of rips open with more teeth. It slices, or actually tries to bite at you with a reaction upon that strike.
No.
You are hit.
Yes.
As it bites back from that wound you gave it, you are taking 16 points of damage.
I sure am.
And that'll be you. So, at the end of your turn, you'll also get the damage from the bleed, so make sure to take that and roll your recovery. Yarmus, your turn.
am I in their aura of
You
gibbering?
certainly are. Will save. Twice.
It has to be blind, right? Wait, no, it doesn't have to be blind. Yes.
Sounds
Well, either
so
way.
loud.
I do not
Either
have the hero points for this.
Exactly. Well, we are at 7:30, so if you wanted to really go for it, you could do hero points on both of them.
I think I'll pass for now.
Okay. So, you do become confused at the start of your turn, so you'll be making the most simple and effective attack that you have.
So will that? So will confuse me
Whatever's in your hand, essentially.
Gotcha. Well, he did start with a skunk in his hand.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, how does AoE targeting work exactly? It's between Parent and Gaz, right?
You would be attacking the closest target, so yes, this one in front of you. Actually, hold on. With confusion, you don't attack just enemies. You attack your closest person, actor, character around you. I need you to roll a coin. Actually, I'll roll a coin flip here. 1 and 2 is Gaz. 3 and 4 is Parent.
Gotcha.
Parent will be struck, or at least attempted to be.
All right. So how does corner targeting work with this, or do I just hit everybody right now?
For now, you'll just hit the usual rules, which will be all around. You can't sort of target your splash.
Gotcha. All right.
Sling this off, it will miss, but everyone around will take how much? 2 or 1 splash damage?
2 splash damage, and also that saving throw.
Okay, I need the Fortitude save from Gaz, Parent, and these two.
And myself.
Mm-hmm.
Die, monster.
God damn it.
But it gets a success, right? Or what is DC? Yeah, so it gets a critical success anyway. So unless anybody rolled like a 7, you all critically succeed. Or wait, no, I'm thinking incorrectly. Yeah, everyone's critically succeeded,
Yeah,
so you're good.
succeeds. Yep.
So,
I don't, I think.
Gaz, 18?
Yeah.
DC is 17, so you're fine.
Wait, so that's
It
one action?
upgrades. Yeah, upgrades, guys. Yeah, one action. You still have to sort of go for your most available attack and continue to attack Parent. Whatever's in your
not
hands,
really.
whatever you got.
Well, the other thing in my hand is a Juggernaut mutagen. So would I be pulling out a weapon, or would I be making unarmed attacks?
Unarmed attacks.
Gotcha. I do not have that available as a strike here. Actually, no, I do. Here. And that's with map.
Miss there, and probably miss on the third, but we'll go for it. Let's see.
Yeah.
Please
We know it's natural 20.
Please don't crit me.
Natural 20.
Not so. As your Parent, you're starting to realize he's gone a little bit insane here. We're gonna go to this other gibbering mouther. It will turn its gaze on Kiba here and strike out with the jaws there, which will exactly critically hit against Kiba.
Bummer.
Kiba, you take a total of 30 points of damage plus the extra sort of bleeding damage there. As you are struck in with that strike, it will then grab onto you with its second action with a grab trait. Third action. It will, since it's got multiple mouths, strike at a Parent with a map attack, which will hit. Parent's going to take a little bit more here for a total of 12. As the teeth and jaws slice and dice into you guys, it's going pretty difficult to hold back here. But this one, with Giraffe confused, it's yeah, it's going to continue to attack Giraffe because they are threatening it. Giraffe, you will be hit. Also, Yarmus, roll me a flat
Great.
check of a d20. Giraffe as
Gotcha.
well. Flat check of a d20, because when you take damage while you're confused, you roll a DC 11 flat check. If you succeed, you will no longer be confused, which Giraffe is
Yay.
not. He is knocked out of the confusion by the pain of the strike.
For now.
This is right. So this was for my splash earlier, right?
Yes, for your splash earlier, so
Gotcha.
you do fail. You're still confused a little bit there. So make sure to take that damage, Giraffe, as you are struck. It will grab you on the second. And also remove the confused condition. For some reason on my end, my conditions bar is just gone, and I can't.
Yeah, it
remove them.
doesn't show it on the right for me, so I can't remove it.
As it no, it's been.
Well, no, I can, just not with that. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll find it.
So, on its third action, it will then, use a map attack on Parenthir. Another jaw growing from its side. It tries to swipe into you, but Parent, you're able to duck away. That'll be its turn. Parent, at the start of your turn, you have succeeded on the Gibbering, so you do not need to make that save again.
Oh, thank goodness. Parent is getting out of here.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna stop here.
Alright.
I am going to drain bonded item to cast Scorching Ray again.
Mm-hmm. Release the ray upon them. First one will certainly be a hit. Second one also very much will be a hit. This rays pierce down through them. One will take 21. One in front, and the other one will take the 13 as you blast them with that fiery magic. That'll be your turn.
Indeed.
Gaz, back to you.
Look at that.
Since you have succeeded, you failed as well.
How high is the ceiling, out of curiosity?
20 feet.
20 feet, I see. So that's good to know, at least for me. Guys is gonna move over here and first give Kiba some battle medicine.
Okay. Pushing over. Placing a hand on those bleeding wounds. Try to patch them up.
That should be 2d8.
6 healing to Kiba.
Take what I can get. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I will then try to use my final action to overdrive again.
Okay. These things gotta get into gear. 14 will do it.
Nice. And that's my turn.
Finally churn up. We go to Giraffe. Grabbed, but now with your senses back to you.
Oh, that's right, I'm grabbed. I was thinking about moving. Okay. Since I can't move, I'm just going to double slice. I'm gonna make
Okay.
it regret this.
Well, certainly will regret on that crit. Roll your crit damage, man. Like, high enough for those, especially as a fighter.
Oh yeah.
Not the best damage, but still, 20 cleaved into it. But, as you do cleave in with this slashing weapon, it opens up another mouth that reactively gnaws into you. So, reaction there. It will hit. Giraffe, you will take another 8 points of damage. A little smaller mouth. Not much damage there. And go for your second strike. Cleaving in with the Hatchet Bloodthirst. That will be a hit as well. For another 10 damage there. This one is looking near destruction at this point. A lot of its form fallen away from it. One more action.
I'm going to parry, but since it doesn't have the parry trait,
You only got 1 instead of 2 AC.
yeah. Good thing I
Okay.
have them both on my bar.
So, parry
Yeah.
up. We go to Kiba. Feeling pretty rough from that big strike from the big one. What do you do?
I sure am. I don't like using my lay on hands on myself, but I have a feeling it would be a bad idea to not do it this time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Roll me a DC
Actu-
5 flat check as you are grappled and trying to use a somatic component
Oh,
spell.
I'm grappled? Shoot.
Mm-hmm. If you didn't realize as such, you can sort of mulligan
Yeah,
that.
I actually had no idea. My bad.
No problem.
I'm gonna roll a flat check.
Okay. It's DC 5, 20% chance to fail, but 80% to succeed. And
I'm amazing.
18 healing to yourself as you quickly sort of realize, well, can't defend your allies if you die.
All right, now let's see. Is this impairing my attack?
Nope. Remember, grapple only impairs somatic components and manipulate actions. Attacks are not.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Then I will go for the attack on the weaker one.
Mm-hmm.
See if I can finish it off to minimize the number of attacks that are coming our way.
Certainly. That will
Oh, I like that.
exactly crit. Because you've inspired yourself with greater feats here. You
Nice.
carve in for 28 damage. It is barely standing on with 1 health. It's just this
Okay.
sort of pile of goop that sometimes pulls him out up and it's still threatening you, unfortunately, but yeah, it's pretty much dead.
It's on fire.
Then I will try to do a follow-up, see if I can finish it off. I have a decent chance.
Mhm.
Oops, -5 that.
Well, minus
Reroll. I'm gonna reroll with a hero point, but I'm gonna reroll it correctly.
5. Okay.
There we go.
And that will
Nice.
hit. Roll the damage.
Nice.
Because you gotta take this thing down. It'll free Giraffe up as well. As you slice into it, it is finally destroyed as the goop just goes flat and no longer lives. Giraffe, you are no longer grappled as well. There we go, I can remove it. It's on your sheet. I don't know why it's not showing up in the corner.
Thank
Probably a bug. But, Kiba. Third... No, you don't have any more
That was a
actions.
heal, that was 2 attacks.
Yarmos, on your turn.
Alright.
Let me see if you make another will save at the start. Just 1 second. You
I'm
are
looking
no
at-
longer confused, because it
Oh,
only
really?
lasts a round.
Okay, wonderful. Do I need to make another will save or still
You
beating it?
do, however, since you have not succeeded upon it.
Wonderful.
You are fine. Just barely pushed through.
Oh,
Remove that confuse for you. There we go.
right. The apparition of old Sharptooth slaying suit skill kobolds finally vanish from Yarmos' eyes as Baron steps away, and he shakes his head and decides to try to be a bit more proactive. Looks a bit sheepish about it, but steps forward, pulls out his crossbow, and uses an action to ready to aid on a strike.
Okay.
That's it for his turn.
You have to decide who you are aiding for this, who you're coordinating with.
Could you aid
yes.
me? As my level 5 ancestry feat, I took Pack Hunter, so I benefit +2 from the aid.
Alright. Sure, giraffe
Oh
then.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait.
And your allies get
Yeah,
to
that's-
aid you, so he gets a +2 to his check to aid you.
Oh,
If you want to, of course, Yarmos. It's up to you who you think might be most helpful here.
wait, so my aid is gonna have the same bonus for both giraffe and Gaz?
No. Giraffe is the one who benefits because of Pack Hunter.
Oh, gotcha. Okay,
Gaz,
okay. Yeah.
however, if you do it for Gaz, and the DC is always 20, remember that as well.
Yeah.
It's not too hard of a DC to hit, so it's always going to give that +1. Your choice.
Yeah. Giraffe's most likely to get a bonus from flanking soon, so he'll go for Gaz,
Okay,
actually. Yeah.
so Gaz will be aided once he makes a strike. But when we get to this one here, it will continue to gnaw down on Kiba as they have them grabbed there. And this will just barely not be a crit.
Thank goodness.
If you're bitten into once more, it takes another good chunk, 17, out of you. However, it will then surprisingly let you go. As it begins to lurch through Gaz and Parent, it threatens to engulf each of you. So you are small creatures. I need a reflex save as it makes this engulfing stride.
I hate this.
Hmm.
Parent, you're able to dive out of the way. Gaz, unless you want to use a hero point.
I'll keep my hero point for now.
You take some damage as these gibbering mouths just lunge into you and begin engulfing you in this sort of torrent of this, well, goo and sort of acidic stuff here. So you take that 10 damage and are also engulfed by it, which
Oh.
means you come with it as it goes to Parent's space, but as part of an engulf action, Parent, you choose an open space to go to. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you can go to that one.
I'm thinking this is redeemable. This is damage, not an attack. I think I can redeem it.
Yes, it is damage. So you can reduce that damage. Guys, you can give yourself back, what is it, 7 now?
5 to 7, yeah.
So,
And Mark of the Enfeeble.
as you are engulfed by it, you are grabbed, slowed, and you must hold your breath or start suffocating, which
That is-
we don't need to follow. You just play your rounds. And that is it. Use those 2 remaining actions to make the engulfing stride. Parent, what do you do?
I'm gonna cast a new spell
Like,
called Warrior's Regret.
Okay. Let's see if these guys can have some regrets. They can. I rolled 19 though.
Oh,
Critical success.
oh my god.
As seems like they are just irredeemable creatures. They have no regrets whatsoever.
Spellcasters hate to see it.
Unfortunately so.
well, I'm getting out of here again. Bye.
Okay. Gaz,
Fair.
engulfed by the creature. What do you do?
I will try an escape check if I can.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Must be against its athletics DC, and this will fail. It's got a pretty tough grip
so-
on you.
So aids have to specify strikes, right? It's not like 4 just attacks.
It specifies the attack that it specifies what you are intending to help with.
Gotcha, alright.
So unfortunately, since you prepared to help with an attack and he got engulfed,
Yeah.
it sort of broke it. Yeah.
I mean, this is an attack, but I'm guessing that attack is different from an attack.
A strike is different from an attack. Yes.
Yeah.
well, I do have the perfect position to do another thing at least. I'm gonna take the DC 5 flat check
Mhm.
to use the funny action.
Okay. Maybe it shouldn't have engulfed you. It's gonna roll a reflex, but I'm gonna say it's -2 to this reflex, just because otherwise it is flat-footed to things from inside. Still succeeds, but it will take this 5 damage in... Actually, is it... Oh, you did roll the 1d10. Okay, so take half there, and you feel like as it sort of like bursts like out, you hear allies see it a little bit there. It doesn't completely sort of rip open a rupture inside of it. If you did a little bit more damage, you could sort of rupture it from the inside and be able to get out.
That is unlucky in that case, but I will now do my unstable check.
Mm-hmm.
Would a regular strike from inside it still be eligible for that aid?
I will hero point that.
Yes, technically, Yarmus.
Wow.
That sounds very weird.
There's not much room to exhaust this, so you do take the back blast of it. 5 damage to you as well. Giraffe, your turn.
Oh boy. Well, we need to get our friend out of that grab. So I'm gonna run up and try and cut him out by attacking the beast.
Okay.
Am I able to attack it without killing Gaz?
Yes, it's not like 5e where
Okay,
it's like
cool.
annoying about that. Certainly does. Actually, let me see. It's not showing up on my screen. I was looking at the.
Its AC is
stream.
21, so that should be a crit.
Not this one. The other one
Oh.
was, but this one's a little bit more big, a little bit more elite. So its AC is increased by 2. It hits, not crits.
No.
Yeah, I elite things since it's an easy way to match them up to a 5th level or 5-person party. But you still slice in, and as you do slice in, it will open up another mouth that will strike back at you. But it can't. You're able to see this one coming. You've seen it do it before.
Again. I'm gonna hero point that. Yes, because I got one at 7:30.
But
Sounds
also-
plus 17 with map.
Even so, as it made that strike, you also see Gaz on the inside be able to, well, be ruptured free of it. So it was the extra damage that was needed to cut him out from it. This 20 will not hit it.
No!
Bites your blade, doesn't let you
That's
strike.
my turn.
Alrighty, so make sure to remove this grab on you, Gaz, as you are shunted out. We go to Kiba. What do you do?
Cool. Yeah, circle around to get into a better position. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Do I still keep this load or?
Oh yes, those go away too. There we go. Just rush around the side.
Yeah, and go for the strike.
Draft, make sure to take the damage from the bleed and roll a recovery. $19 will be a crit with that flank.
Heck, it's happening tonight.
And Giraffe also rolls 19 recover. You guys are rolling really well today, actually, so not the best
Except
dice
for my
rolls,
damage rolls.
but at the very least, you cleave into the creature, and as you do so, it will combust with flames and become flat-footed to everything for a round as you put it off balance.
All right, well, follow-up strike. I might as well continue the momentum here.
Mm-hmm.
Hero point that.
Unfortunately, will be a miss there. Gotta reload 1 second, but I can look on the stream.
I'm just gonna let that one stand.
That will fail, yes. So, next we go to Yarmos. I'm reloading, but I can see you on the stream, so go right ahead with your turn.
All right. You're just gonna delay until we're after the creature thing.
Wow, that makes it harder on me. 1 second, I'll get back in.
So apologies. It's just
Yeah, no, it's fine.
it's just you start repositioned right after me last round.
So let me real quick get into the game once more. Sometimes when I'm streaming, I think it just like, I don't know, the JavaScript breaks and the image goes haywire or whatever. But I am back in the moment. So there we go. With that, yes, you are going to delay, so we will go straight to the creature's turn itself. Kiba, you do take the persistent there.
Thank you for the reminder.
We move you, Yarmos, right there. There we go. And on its turn, it
On
does
the roll of 15.
see Kiba, yeah, as a threat. So it's going to go for a bite against Kiba. 7 on the dice will hit. Just barely.
Oh, I'll miss you all.
12 damage there. Not the worst. Still holding up against it. But it's going to bite again. This time, it's just going full throttle with the attacks. Will hit once more for, this time, 19 damage exactly. But you are resistant to physical 1. From what?
I sure am.
Where does that come from?
That's a good question. What the heck is that?
It maybe at this level. Do you get no, you don't get specialization for armor.
Can it be from the double Fury cocktail? Applied forever ago.
That'd be weird.
Yeah, I don't know exactly why that's there. I'll remove it until we can figure it out.
Yeah, I can't see anything either, so it must be a mistake, and I'm really sad about that because I had
Yeah.
1 hit point.
You did. So we go down to 0. But as you do go down, it's going to turn on Gaz and go for another map attack. This one will miss, though, as you're able to defend yourself in this flurry of attacks from it. Yarmos. Takes some
Alright,
fire
Yarmos.
damage.
Yarmos is gonna stride over to provide flanking for Gas.
Mhm.
He's gonna reload his crossbow and then he's gonna prepare to aid Giraffe.
Alrighty. And we go to Parenth.
I'm running out of options here.
Can't go wrong with Electric Arc.
I'm going to use Telekinetic Projectile.
What type of damage?
Bludgeoning.
Okay. Lifting a stone off the floor and slinging it over. 3 won't do it.
I'm gonna gonna use a hero point on a cantrip.
Okay.
Okay.
6. 17 is not enough even while it's flat-footed there. It goes careening by. You have one more action.
I'll just shield, I guess. I don't really have anything else lined up.
Okay, shield goes up. Gaz, back to you.
Oh boy. I should be able to stabilize Kiba while he's down, right?
Stabilize is a 2-action thing, I believe. But yes, theoretically.
Okay, then I will do just that. I'll do try to stabilize him.
He has battle medicine. Yeah, he has a battle medicine. Yeah, but that doesn't stop from attempt to stabilize. Yeah. So, medicine.
Yoink.
That will be a success. Kiba is stabilized, so they're at 0 HP, but they're still bleeding.
Yeah,
So,
I will try. I think there was an action that helps with bleeding, or is it just a general heat check?
Cure wounds, I think. Treat wounds and then cure wounds.
so
Or
treat wounds doesn't do that. So for persistent damage, you can help your allies with a single action to reduce DC to 10 instead of 15 for them, but it still will be damage at the end of his turn, no matter
Oof.
what.
Well, I can probably just stabilize him again afterwards, so I will try to aid the unconscious Kiva in stemming the bleeding.
Okay. So you do that. DC 10 on the next roll. Giraffe, your turn. No longer flanking because Kiba's down. But it's still flat-footed from Kiba's strike, actually.
Oh, that's good. Hang in there, Kiba. Double slice.
Okay.
the army's aiding a second strike here.
Second strike? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go for the first. This will be a hit. Cleaving in once more. You know what to expect this time. It creates a new jaw that bites into you. And will hit. Once again, dealing 10 damage to you and putting that bleed right back on.
Well, I'm not done yet. And this is the one he wants to aid?
Yep.
So you both can make them simultaneously. We'll just add. Your mercy do succeed, giving him a +1, but he was already hitting, so this will be a good hit. Roll the damage.
Thank you.
Wouldn't have hit without that flat footing there, so good that Kiba got that crit. Slices in once more. It's starting to look pretty badly injured, but
Gonna get greedy.
mm-hmm.
One more attack. Map
Slicing.
-8.
Dicing, this black tar is splashing up from where you cleave into it. Just want this thing dead. That won't do it though.
Nope.
So they will finally bring about some of those jaws and bite away your blade. It'll be your turn. Kiba, you have been stabilized, but at the end of your turn, it will trigger the persistent damage. So, you do take 6 automatically, which puts you back down, dying 1, but the DC for the recovery check is now 10 instead of 15.
What is stabilizing in Pathfinder terms?
Stabilizing puts you down at 0 HP without the dying condition, but you are still unconscious. And because you took persistent damage there, you go back down to dying 1, or dying 2 because you're wounded, automatically.
And they say Pathfinder, it doesn't have ping ponging.
Maybe
Okay.
in, a different way, but yes. With persistent damage, it can happen.
Okay, so the bleed. Okay, right. So stabilized, which means I wasn't conscious. It got no actions. Therefore, the bleed happened because my turn basically ended because I had no actions.
Mm-hmm.
I still have a recovery check, right?
Yes.
Wow!
DC was 10 because Gaz was trying to help. But unfortunately, he
Those are
was
hero
just
point
bleeding a
to
lot
red.
there.
Thinking,
Can use a hero point for it.
yeah, I want to try to the excuse me point.
Unfortunately.
Incredible.
I want to
Are going
die.
be bleeding. So, we go
I
back
don't.
to the creature's turn. At this point, it is no longer flat-footed or enfeebled because those would go away because of Kiba not being able to reapply them. It will start... Yeah, it's going to bite at all 3 of you, starting with Yarmos and going clockwise.
Oh boy.
Yarmus, you are able to see it coming though, and duck away
Oh.
as it sort of slams its jaws into the wall behind. Then it goes for Giraffe.
He cowers under the rubble that falls over top of his head. The splintered
Oh,
wall.
even at -5.
Will hit. 15. More damage to you, Giraffe. As these many jaws and maws and bites and whatever bite out at all of you. It will miss though to Gaz, only really getting a good plant of the jaws into Giraffe there. That'll be its turn as we go to Yarmus.
Oh boy, Yarmos try to communicate over to guys. You still trying to keep Kiba up? I could save you trouble with a potion.
Just shove some healing juice down his throat. I can't stop the bleeding.
Alright, Yarmos does that by using his free hand to quick alchemy up a elixir of life and then pours it down Kiba's beak.
Okay.
Oh boy, having to toggle all these alchemy options because it's a fairly quick alchemy.
Played an alchemist. Oh, did they change up a little bit of it? Yeah, they kind of did.
Here we go. One elixir of life.
There you go.
And
Another
then
single
down,
action to give it.
Yep, down the hatch.
And roll out that HP there. And it will be enough. No matter what, of course, because there's not negative HP to bring him back to 2. Awake. Bleeding, but awake at the very least you are, Kiba. Wounded 2 to start, so if you get crit, you are instantly dead. Keep that in mind. Yarmus, you have one
That's
more.
awesome.
Yarmos uses his last action to recall knowledge on his creature. Occultism.
Okay.
No, it's done recall knowledge, but I'll assume it's occultism, like the goop.
Yeah, yes, occultism. So, you are to realize that these are, yes, gibbering mouthers, these aberration creatures. What one thing do you want to know about them specifically?
War save.
Their worst save is their will.
Gotcha. Hey, Baron, you don't happen to have any more of those, mind, magics up your sleeve, do you?
I'll try. Yeah, I'm guessing befuddle on it.
That you do. See what it gets. A 2 on the dice, which will be a failure
That's
for
beautiful.
it. It is clumsy 2 and stupefied 2 for 1 round. But yeah, that clumsy 2 reduced the AC by 2, including the flat footing already, so crits can come around this time. Parent, one more action.
I'm gonna cast Magic Missile with 1 action.
Okay. A quick sling off 1, max damage, 5 more to it. Everything a little bit matters. Guess.
Gas is once again going to try and help with mending Kiba's paper skin.
Okay.
And he is going to strike out at the Gibbering now that he has an opportunity to.
Now you do, yeah. Pummel your way forward. 2 is not gonna do it.
That is very annoying. I will try another strike because may as well.
May as well. With an 18, you certainly hit. Roll the damage.
Thank goodness.
So pow into it. 14 there. Is now near death, this thing.
And that's my
A
turn.
little bit more. Giraffe might even be able to do it here.
Come on.
In fact, seemed to take more damage from that bludgeoning strike. Weakness to it.
Double slice. Let's go. Let's end this.
15 on the dice. With the clumsy 2, makes it exactly a critical hit.
Oh, yes.
Back to being flat-footed now again because Kiba is conscious, right?
Yep, so it is already adding. And it barely holds up against this critical strike, as it does open another maw out from it. It will strike at you,
I'm
and it
not
won't
done yet.
be able to crit itself because of the clumsy 2. So you only
Redemption.
take 14, and even
Jerk.
lower than that. So take the 14 and give yourself 7 back. Yeah, one more strike then. Keep calls out from the floor to help out. This will be another hit. Roll the damage. Probably be enough, yes. 10 is finally enough as you cleave
Epic.
and carve into this thing. Parents befuddling it just enough to get you a good strike in there. You're able to finally slay the beast.
Thank goodness, because I wasn't about to do a melee strike.
But with that, those creatures fall. And that is the end of that encounter.
Do you have some spare healing magic, or are you going to bleed out again in about 6 seconds or so?
The bleeds go away at the end of combat.
Oh, interesting.
How convenient.
Just easier.
Yeah.
So, with that, did I give you experience for the shadows up here?
Nope.
Nope.
No.
80 experience for the shadows, 120 for these guys. A total of 200.
Not sure why I used that. I actually didn't even use that. I don't have the effect.
We should back up a bit and recover. That took like everything out of me.
I'm honestly curious. Those two emit from just a small rock. Imagine what would happen if you tossed a bigger rock in.
I don't think that's the cause and effect here.
Does this stuff seem to be perfectly fine still, or like diminish at all, or?
It doesn't seem like there is going to be anything further rising out of it. It's pretty flat now. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of substance to it. You've dealt with the threat, it seems, at least here.
We should definitely back up and recover.
Why don't we make
That's
camp
for
next
sure.
to it? It makes for a nice, wonderful, nice sight.
Yeah. That hurt.
Looking at it more, is there a tunnel that continues to go on or anything over there?
Strangely, no. It's just an alcove in the back like the other alcoves you've seen before. But with how the corruption is spreading, it seems like it's coming from the floor rather than some passageway to the south, right? Like, not from the back wall, but from the floor itself.
We didn't see any other stairs down at all, correct?
Nope.
So these archways are also just portals to nothing, right?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Just blank stone. And one more thing. As you guys do have a little bit more time to sort of recover and look around the room, one of those shadows, the frozen shadows along the wall, seems to have something that glints next to it. So I will roll, or open up, that ring of negative resistance. Yes, I know the description doesn't include negative, but that is what the special one is for here.
That is very nice.
I don't even know what does negative damage.
The shadows are doing negative damage to us.
Would have been useful a room ago. Well,
Seems
I
quite
suppose this
good.
goes to whoever needs the most positivity in their lives.
That's a tough one, because I could say that applies to all of you.
Anyone could use it, really.
Me, I'm always so optimistic.
Parent heads back up to the previous room.
Yarmos,
Eh,
as you've delved through this shadowy darkness here in this basement, dealt with undead and eldritch abominations and their constructs, you don't feel like your arm itches as much anymore. And your shadow returns to you as well. Sunburn is away.
That's convenient.
Let's move to some place a little bit more inviting so I can patch you up, Kiba, unless you want to use your religious magics for it.
I'm currently spent. It would I mean, I can certainly help out, but not without resting first.
Would we be able to take a long rest here, or would we need to leave the island?
I wouldn't want to take a long rest here.
I wouldn't either.
You
Guess
guys
we're
still
leaving.
Fear
have
still
that.
permeating everywhere, right?
I also feel like there's no reason to take a long rest here. It's not far to the boat.
You guys still have that permeating background feeling of being watched here.
We obviously did not solve the issue.
Well,
No, but we certainly
Karen,
learned.
from your recall knowledges and looking at the seal parent, sorry to interrupt, Cuba, but it does seem like with how much corruption is there and how it is sort of permeating from the floor, you would hazard a guess that and because of the power of things that you've seen here, those shadows from that ancient magic, the destructive magic from up the stairs there as well that came from the ceiling, whatever is holding back that corruption must be very powerful itself, and you guys don't think you could deal with something like that.
Obviously, that is, you should investigate immediately.
What we have accomplished here is gathering very valuable information that we can bring back home. This information can be theoretically used by any magic users we have and acquire over time to study and
Yeah.
theoretically put an end to this at a future point. I don't think there's anything we can do ourselves at this time.
Speaking of
Yes,
study,
perhaps our magistrate will have some ideas.
I was about to suggest maybe we should bring some of the Eldritch goop with us so they have a better sample to study rather than just our hearsay.
Well, you can be my guest, Gaz.
If you can provide me a glass bottle, I'll just use my little tongs for it.
I can continue looking into this more, but I don't think we need any of that stuff.
Maybe you can turn it into some magic reality raising poison.
Would Jarmus be able to do that?
Yes.
No, you
Still Taurus beyond your reality.
you doubt it. It's more. There's no like active ingredient to that stuff. It'd be like, oh yeah, you stab somebody with a knife with tar on it. Maybe it would cause some problems, but it's not a poison.
Are we able to tell that it's actively harmful, or are we just using
Well, you were attacked by creatures that, covered
Those
you kind of in
yeah.
it, so you feel fine. It's disgusting, but it's just aberration tar or whatever it is. Doesn't seem to be actively harming you in any way.
Witch juice?
I mean, Gaz was completely enveloped by it, and he is completely fine.
Well, I don't think any of us want to go back down there. Here, you can take this bottle and scoop some off your own body.
Yeah, you'll get enough. So, what do you guys do from here?
Well, probably take some time to treat Kiba's wounds.
Alright. So, for the purpose of it, since Kiba can refocus and keep doing it, you guys are pretty well wounded. It will take an hour to do so, but you'll all get back to full. Instead of going through all the rolls rather, there's really no reason to at this point.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we have a good idea of what's going on here, but we haven't explored everything. Shall we? Since the plan is to leave, are we gonna come back?
We probably will once we have a plan of attack for this weird corruption goop at the bottom. Right now, we can't really do anything with it.
But right now, we can still explore more of this keep.
I think we've explored it all.
I don't believe there is anything else to explore here.
Wait, have we? There's no persistent map, so I can't. So my terrible directional skills are not aiding here.
You don't have precision map?
Nope.
Do
I only see what's in sight right now.
the rest of you not have that?
I see the whole map.
Yeah,
I absolutely have it.
That might be something on your end, Yarn, with your settings.
Gotcha. Alright.
But for the purpose of it, yes, you guys get the sense. You've explored this, place in full.
That's probably all we can do here
Yep.
at the moment. So
If there was anything we've missed, it was a secret. We have no way to know that without going over everything. So.
Yes, but you guys feel like you were pretty thorough, nonetheless. So,
Yeah.
let's move you guys back out. On to the island. Well, we don't really need to go there since you've successfully sort of waylaid the wisps of the island as well. You beat the most powerful one, so no other ones attack you. Maybe in the trees around, they sort of, scamper through the night and try and scare you a little bit more, but you're able to sort of push your way back down to the dock and get on your boat and finally leave this accursed place behind. And I'll
Surely
give you guys
Lizard
an
folk are
turn.
gonna have a field day once we tell them about this place.
Yeah. Oh,
you gave us an icon.
Yes, finally.
that's cool. That's a cool icon.
I love this.
Oh my goodness. Awfully cramped. Can you guys walk a little farther for me?
Okay, we'll have to share a square. It's fine. Don't worry.
Why? I did my best. I think I actually did a decent job with your group, getting y'all
I
figured out.
agree
great.
entirely.
Yeah.
It's really good, yeah.
I appreciate that they're all scaled as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feathered.
Wow.
So, with that being said, you guys have returned to the greater sort of hills and valleys of a place you call home to yourselves. Away from the Candlemere, back on the shores. What do you do from here?
Cry.
Wasn't our first original plan to proceed in this direction and clear out those last 3 hexes?
I don't think we were going to report to the lizard folk, but
Yeah, we had to report to Blizzard Folk to avoid any time paradoxes.
Yeah. For the purpose of it, that can be something that you guys do without having to specifically do it. It's fine. You don't have to worry about it.
Excellent.
But yeah, it is late, however, so you guys probably will need to rest anyway. Spend a lot of time adventuring through that place.
please.
So, go ahead and take your rests. Pretty well claimed lands around here, so you don't think that there are going to be any threats along here. When you guys awaken anew in the morning, finally some sunlight on your skin. Now all you need to decide is where to go.
Well, that was kind of our last hook at the moment, like in this area, I think.
At the moment, you guys don't really have much that you think needs doing.
Could
Like sort
probably
of a-
investigate the dinosaurs that have shown up.
Go back to that water dinosaur and actually get rid of it.
Plus, there's also the wyvern that's haunting our lands.
It seemed localized to there, you don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
So, now let's head back to town, and for the purposes of what we spoke about, buy things as well, since it's now a higher level town, of course. Yeah, for the stream, since Kingdom turns are a little bit too long and a little bit too much grinding to get it up to the player's level, a lot of other DMs have essentially just upgraded the town that you start with up to the character's level, and then from there, you do the Kingdom turns. We're going to do that because otherwise we're going to have to sit here for 10 turns of the Kingdom management, basically 2 streams full, and do nothing but it, but that would be boring. So, we're not going to do that. So guys, still up to you.
We should probably
Alrighty.
Stop
So-
in town and see what's going on.
Yeah, we should stop the town.
There's still someone bad-mouthing me back in Skillport.
So, these guys return back here. Let's move you back into the town hall here. Where is my town hall? I forgot where it is. That's here. There it is. I have a new one in the works that's pretty much almost completed, but wasn't able to complete it for today, so regular one for now. You guys get back here. It's much like we left it. People milling about, guards sort of standing by, casting a rest, sort of speaking to one of the guards, allowing you to sort of like get some rest in, but it's not long before he does sort of approach again. I do apologize, since seems like every time I see you, there's something else going amiss.
It's quite all right.
I think there'd be something wrong if nothing was amiss.
Well, we are gone quite often as of late. That would make sense.
Yes, it's not a pressing issue, though. It's... Well, some of the townsfolk have expressed concerns about... Well, some of your kin, as he looks between Yarm and Gaz. Not Soot-scale kin, though. They've reported red and blue scales. 2 kobolds running around, seemingly spying on people, looking through their windows. One time they tried to break into the town hall. We waylaid them, and though they had some powerful magics that stopped us, they made themselves invisible and fled. I think they're still in town, though, somewhere.
Jarmus looks at Baron.
Why are you looking at me?
Well, first of all, originally it's because you're blue, but also because you have that wand now.
I can assure you, I have absolutely nothing to do with kobolds. But yes, I can
It's
use
not very
the wand.
draconic of you.
Listen, kobolds just kind of get in the way.
I wonder if they're actually spies working for somebody, or if they're just trying to find some easy marks.
Whatever it is, you should ask around. Maybe try to find them yourselves. Our guards have not had much luck. And also, reporting on that merchant that showed up the other day, they seem to be persisting in their efforts to rile up trouble. With words alone, though, so we cannot act against them. Unless you give us rights to do so, as you are the barons of this land. Though the people may not exactly see kindly upon imprisonment without charges.
We should start with words first, at least.
Of course.
We can always charge him with slander and libel.
Well, he's not printing anything.
Besides, how do we know that he's not saying something incorrect?
I mean,
I-
we're great jewelers. Obviously, if he's causing unrest, then he has to be incorrect.
Not necessarily. It's entirely possible that we have done something that is genuinely upsetting for some. If that's the case, we don't want to ignore this. And if it wasn't something legitimate, well, perhaps we can set the record straight, peacefully.
This does need to be addressed, one way or another.
Both of them do, but neither of them are pressing immediately, so you can choose. Either way, what shall the god do? Shall we prepare for something?
I feel like maybe the guard should stand by for now.
Yeah, stand by.
Very
Keep
well.
watching the town.
So they step aside, going back to the other guards, sort of reporting on what you discussed with them.
Personally, I would suggest we maybe check on the kobolds first. They seem to be scouting us out, and the longer we wait with that, the more information they'll obviously be able to gather and report to whoever is employing them.
You've likely also noticed that we're the skittish sort. They might just bolt sooner rather than later, so let's catch them before that happens.
Well, we should probably check the inn then, and the barn, etc. They could probably have information there.
Alright, so, you guys head back over to the tavern. Let's move you guys to a new scene.
See if they've forgotten about the great tradition that we've established.
They will never forget.
Ah, yes! The blue dragon is here again! Balance for everyone! As the bartender calls out once more. Yes. Essentially.
Beginning to regret this.
You asked for this, little buddy.
The generous dragon.
Generous dragon indeed, though I will stop if you demand it, my liege.
No, it's fine. I'd rather be on people's good side anyways.
Very well. What brings you by today?
Well, we've heard some interesting tales lately about somebody trying to sully our good name.
Ah, yes. I do believe I've seen them. I think they're here right now. They've taken up a residence in one of the larger rooms of the tavern.
I've also heard about a pair of kobolds skulking about. Have you seen anything of them?
2 scaled ones to be precise.
I have been told some things. Yes, people have been complaining, saying things have been stolen. Small things, silverware. So far I've not had a break-in, but I hope not. Common thieves around here, I guess that's how big we're getting. But as for where they might be, your guess is as good as mine. You would have to go and speak to some others outside. I don't go outside much. Well, I work here, so.
Fair enough.
Which room is this merchant fellow in? Is he here right now?
The
I
largest room.
do believe he is, yes. There's 2 big rooms on the southern side of the top floor here. He's in the leftwards one. Or the rightwards. Let me go check real quick. I have to go. Different scene on my end. But yes, he's on the rightwards one. Across the hall from the, well, the other man's that you asked me about before.
How much gold did I need to spend, by the way?
2 GP.
So here's a question that we must ask ourselves now at this point. Do we really want to approach this man in his room? Or perhaps invite him for a discussion?
Well, it certainly cuts a more imperious vibe if we invited him to that room with all the chairs that we've got.
I think we should actually, I do think we should invite him to our meeting room. Actually, hear him out and show him that we are willing to take concerns seriously.
Or show him that his concerns are unfounded.
I feel like he'd grow more concerned when, after bad-mouthing the rulers has appeared at his doorstep.
Then perhaps we shouldn't be the one to approach his room. I glance over at the owner.
You want me to pass a message along?
Yes, could you please have that gentleman come to the hall for a meeting in the morning?
Of course. I'll inform them that the Barons request an audience with them.
Make sure he understands that it's to hear out his concerns. This should not sound like any kind of a negative thing. This is...
We're not trying to shake him down or anything.
Yes, thank you.
Keep a roll a diplomacy check, but this is only to aid him.
Okay.
Okay, Barkeep has a decent actually
3-1.
diplomacy. And you do give him +2 with a critical success because DC is always 20. Okay. Yes, I'll pass it along as gently as I can.
Thank you, my friend.
Sort of goes back to sort of playing with the dishes, leaves you guys to yourselves.
So that'll be our tomorrow morning. Suppose we have time to look around further if today or tonight.
Might as well try and look for any clues for the kobolds whereabouts in the town.
Okay. So, whether asking any of the patrons here or going out and asking around in town, be gathering information as a diplomacy check. Whoever wants to. Or
Well,
if you want to
I
do
wouldn't mind taking the lead on that one. If you guys don't mind me taking the lead on the diplomacy check.
I think you could go right ahead.
All right.
Let's consider diplomacy on this end.
Okay.
Well,
How's another 31?
yeah. With that, you do see a dwarf that's sort of like starting to set up a cart full of pretty good weapons and armor. And you walk up to him, probably would have seen a lot from the sort of village square here. Yeah, I did see them. They tried to pilfer something from me. I chased them around a corner. Seemed, well, I lost them in a couple of the alleys between the houses over there. He points you to a certain alley. Just happened a few minutes ago, in fact. The buggers might be still there.
Parenth will use his detect invisibility wand before we head over there.
Okay.
Is it only for 10 minutes?
Yeah, but we're going there right now, aren't we?
Yeah, just in case.
10-minute buffs are supposed to be like you're preparing something to go somewhere. Like that's why they're 10 minutes. So
Gotcha.
generally I do have them work. I'm not like, oh well, you showed up at 9 minutes and 99 seconds or 60 seconds and yeah. So let's move you guys over to a new scene as you head around some of the village alleys here.
I'm just gonna use the wand to get the buff on myself.
Yeah.
Are those supposed to be there?
The dogs.
Oh yeah, this is what I did for. It's fine because you'll see this immediately. I used this for the video. I forgot about that.
The party finds itself ambushed by dogs.
Ambushed by wargs, yeah.
Can you pet the dog?
Let me make sure I clear the other maps. I didn't think I used one that you guys will be at so soon. So, either way, rewind. But you'll see the alley anyway. It's no big deal that you don't see it.
Yeah, it's weird. The persistent map is like available here, but like not in the Yoxathoth hideout.
It might have been like some sort of momentary bug or whatever.
Yeah.
Either way, yeah, you guys find yourselves heading down this alley in your village, and yeah, things are starting to seem much more well built up. A lot of people have, stuff laid out. There's some bow and arrow sort of shooting ranges for, some kid who has a bow or something. And yeah, looks quaint. Nobody else is back here. No citizens. How do you proceed?
Imagine you look out your bathroom window and just the leaders are just walking past your back alleyway. Dramos and Gaz, maybe you should take the lead on this.
Oh, I certainly don't mind. It's gonna be hard for me to spot them, obviously.
Well, it is my job as Viceroy to smooth things over between people coming in and people already here.
And as the ruler, I have the grave task of acting as the face.
And also deciding to execute them.
Let's not jump the gun.
Head around the corner here.
So, as a reminder, Parenth now has imprecise scent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as you guys are heading in here, roll me your perception checks. Parent,
Unfortunately,
as you are keeping your eyes peeled and you have that invisibility spell cast on you, you begin to see, pretty apparently, a kobold's tail, sort of outlined with your see invisibility, right about there, sort of coming out from behind these boxes. Seems like they don't care much, thinking that their spell will work just as well.
okay. Isn't there an action I can do that will show hidden things to my teammates?
Fairy
Out of
fire.
out of combat, you could just be like, "Hey, they're over there."
Okay, yeah, well, I'd point them out.
Yeah, you can't buy it to point out, I think.
Yeah.
I think there's one right there.
Really? I didn't see anything.
It's because it's invisible.
They really have the juice to be invisible 24/7.
It's probably not 24/7, and if we just wait it out right here, and just don't let them pass, then maybe it'll wear off. But I don't think we have the time for that. I'll be honest.
Well, the spell magic could always work. You have that, don't you?
Hey, do you
Fair.
think it would be a good idea to place a mine in their escape route?
Parent is going to slap Gaz with his tail. No explosives in our settlement.
Fine. I was just joking anyways.
Hard to tell.
So anyway, we should probably pincer them if we don't want them to immediately skedaddle the second we approach them.
That's true. I don't necessarily want to hurt them.
We can probably negotiate with them. Just gotta make sure they don't immediately dip on us the second they realize you can actually spot them.
Apparently, you see a head poke up and quickly come back down.
I think we should deal with this immediately instead of waiting.
Yes.
You're probably right.
Probably would be a good idea to have one of our big fellas here and the other one here. And then the rest of us just tries to talk from behind the boxes.
Parent is going to pretend that he doesn't see them.
And they're like sitting there, like sort of hunched and like still, trying to be as still as possible. It's like, you guys know that like SpongeBob meme where he's like caveman? They're like sitting there like that, like waiting.
In that pose.
Essentially, yeah. One of them seems to be wearing robes to parent size, the other a hammer and shield. But they are just staying still, not doing anything because they think that you guys don't see them.
Parent is going to get really close to them. Kind of like sniffing them out a little bit. Just to freak them out.
Wait. Step. Don't move.
You can start to hear that though.
I think someone has to break it to them.
Parent is going to cast Dispel Magic.
You're gonna
on the
cast it?
mage.
Okay. So you, as you sort of unleash this spell, roll that counteract check.
He's a hero point.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, okay, yeah.
Love it.
Oh
Just
my
in
god,
case-
that's
Just in case it needs to be said, I'm ready to grab somebody if they come around.
Yeah. So as you unleash this spell, well, at first you sort of get distracted by the silliness of this, but then you unleash the spell with its most power that you can muster, and you do see that they just immediately reappear in full color to you and now everyone else. You see this kobold.
God.
All
I have to protect him.
Wait,
this one doesn't look very
he sees me now. Bristle, kneecap him.
Do not kneecap me. You will regret that.
Before we resort to kneecapping, why don't we have a discussion first?
Roll diplomacy. What?
Oh my god, 31. Again.
They look around themselves.
That plan was supposed to be foolproof. How did you see us?
We used our magic to destroy your magic.
Pressel?
I can smell a kobold from a mile away.
Of course, a dragon. Obviously, dragons. Fine. Pressel, let go of the spell.
You see another one. Here.
I wanted to kneecap him. Fine. Yes, we...
So what?
So good.
So what exactly are you doing in that warren?
Well, you see...
The red one seems to take charge in most of the conversations here.
We are here on a diplomatic mission.
You know, most diplomatic missions don't involve being invisible.
Or theft.
Well, it just so happens that your people don't like us learning about your culture.
Have you tried approaching us first so that we may have gotten the opportunity to introduce you to our people first?
We were told that you would attack us and hurt us.
Who in the world would tell you that?
We're kobolds ourselves.
Well, they didn't tell us who you were. Not that you had a dragon with you and well, other kobolds. You're saying you're the leaders around here?
Yes, in fact, I'm
The
appointed
king.
ruler right here.
Well, the Prime Minister, yes. Prime Minister is a kobold.
It's a joint effort.
Well, this is surprising. Look, we were sent by the Troll King Hagulka.
Who?
The Troll
Troll
King
King.
Hagulka. We were sent here to scout, to investigate your kingdom as it comes close to theirs. To, well, ours, but not really ours, since we were forced to do this.
You were forced to do this.
Yes, we're part of the Tree Stalkers tribe, further south in the Gnarl Marshes. More in Mivon than the Stolen Lands. But trolls came along and attacked our tribe, captured us, while the rest fled, and told us that we have to work for them, or else they'll go and attack the Tree Stalkers again.
That sounds horrible.
It is, yes. Oh, and there's another kobold working with them too.
Are they here as well, or someplace else?
No, they're not here. They're shaman of Troll King. Wear skull mask, strange scales. Never seen purple kobold before.
Oh
Excuse
boy.
me. Do you know their name?
I said they were Tartuk.
Oh, we already killed that one. It's fine.
How long ago was this?
Well, we were there 2 weeks ago. Took the travel here.
Doesn't add up at all.
Why does it?
Shouldn't he?
Dartok should be dead. That traitor.
I have heard of people coming back to life due to the use of magics.
He's weird. He wears a skull all the time.
He's a gnome, not a kobold.
Gnome? No, I know. He's a kobold.
He uses magic.
Oh yes, he uses magic.
He uses magic to disguise himself as a kobold, is what he's trying to get at.
Look, I am a very powerful kobold myself. I know a kobold when I see one.
Possible he found something stronger than an illusion.
I doubt it.
That annoying. Ugh.
Every so often he'd mutter to himself, babbling on about something. Seemed kind of weird, crazy even. Something wrong in the head.
That does sound like him, alright. Yeah, he's definitely still alive. Oh boy. Oh, I don't like that.
At the very least, we now know that there are kobold minorities to ourselves that need liberating.
We should check with the suit scales to see what they did with the body.
You're right. I haven't even thought about that.
Well, oh, what now? It seems, we don't have to spy on you, but
We would
if we don't return, then tree stalkers get attacked. We're not expected back for another 2 weeks or so.
We would prefer if you stopped spying on us, but it would probably be helpful if you fed them false information for us, be a kind of double agent, you see.
You wish us to return to that hole? They don't treat us well.
Here's another idea. Why not get the tree stalkers to move?
Tree stalkers, far south, their way, but that is our home. We don't have anywhere else. Mivon, rest of it's civilized, and here in Stolen Lands is, well, dangerous. Unless you gave us land. Our people.
We already have a pack of kobolds living in our land. We could certainly afford to settle in another one.
Well,
Tree stalkers.
As
Does
long-
do the suit skills have any information for that from as like a background?
Roll me a
Right
society
now.
check, Yarm, if you
Gotcha.
have training in society.
Like,
Yeah,
I
you
would,
do.
I would rather you all be safe than at the mercy of some troll.
I would agree, unless it was somehow possible to reason with this troll, but it sounds like that's not quite on the table.
If Tartuk is involved with this troll, they're going to try to kill us.
Right, Tartuk, I was so shocked by that information, it slipped my mind that fast. My goodness.
Troll King in charge. And he seemed more intelligent than the other trolls with him. He might be able to be reasoned with. He spoke of dreams of kingdom for monsters. Said our kind should join. If we didn't want to, which we didn't, then we get attacked.
So why is he wanting you to spy on us? What specifically was he wanting you to find out?
Enemies, numbers, threats.
so he's planning on invading. Or
Either
something of the
that,
like.
or he's afraid of you invading them.
We would have no reason to invade unless we were threatened ourselves, or our allies were threatened.
I
Well,
admittedly
if we're making allies out of the tree stalkers, then they're already being threatened.
I admittedly do have to admit that a troll coming up with the idea of spying on his enemies beforehand is concerningly smart.
Besides, we already have the kingdom of monsters right here. We're the better one. We have werewolves and kobolds and dragons and
We don't
gnolls
have any werewolves.
anymore.
And I am the only dragon. It can't be plural.
Well, there is a wyvern.
That is insulting.
Also, I wish to point out that I'm not a monster of any kind. I'm a completely regular person.
Sure you are.
But, either way, speaking of monsters, by the day more trolls and more hobgoblins join the ranks of that kingdom. Even if you don't think them threatened now, they will be threatened in future. They won't have food for everyone. And trolls eat a lot.
Such a kingdom in itself isn't necessarily a threat. However, if it's being controlled or guided by somebody like Tartuk, then that does present a problem.
Can you show us exactly where this kingdom is?
Unfortunately, we didn't exactly write down on the map where we came from. Well, we would be able to
So
find
you-
our way back, but we kind of wandered until we found this town. I can tell you general direction, though. It's southwest here. Let me show on your map. Sort of. Somewhere in, southwest Narlmatches. Big area, I know. Start, like, below where it marks on your map Narlmatches. Everything below that is fair game, I think. We don't know how far up or down we went or anything like that, but didn't go further up.
Perhaps we could send scouts.
Are there boggarts there? In the Kingdom of Trolls?
No. But he tried. He tried to, diplomacy with the, boggarts. But the boggarts are from out there, west, swamplands.
I like the troll's idea, honestly. Joining up with him might be our best bet and would set a great precedent. We just have to convince him of Tartuk's bad influence, probably.
The
We
kobolds
also
are
have
right,
to
though.
we also have to convince him not to bully the tree stalkers. Hopefully that was Tartuk's idea as well.
Well, the tree stalkers are moving over here somewhere now. We've decided.
We only go to tree stalkers if you deal with trolls. Because trolls won't let us migrate. They're basically in the direct path. And we want trees. We are tree stalkers. And if trolls are in trees, then, well, too dangerous.
We'll definitely should have a private chat with Hagolka at least, hear him out, and reveal Tartuk's past history to him.
What are
As
your
like-
names?
Ah, yes. My name is Karik. That is Prazzle. He doesn't talk much, but he likes to smash kneecaps.
I can tell.
Wow, you both have 2 syllables already. What did you accomplish to get those?
I am powerful mage, sorcerer of draconic blood. I'd slow you down and burn you with my hands. Prazzle, he's very good at smashing kneecaps.
It is
Yes.
quite a lovely hammer, by the way.
First of indeed.
Good hammer for smashing.
Kneecaps, I assume.
Yes, has runes, magic. Good for smashing.
It's honestly quite excellent craftsmanship for a kobold made hammer. I've got to admit.
Pick up from Dwarven Ruin.
Oh, fair enough. Though, if you don't mind me asking, where would that dwarven ruin be?
In Mirvan, south,
Oh, fair
far
enough.
from Stolen Lands.
Might be worth it to check out when we get there.
Are you able to go there? Is there any content written for that?
No, there isn't.
It's outside of the
I wanna
scope
go
of
there.
the
When I
adventure.
when I say it's in Mivon, that's your hint.
Let's go to a different campaign in the other continent.
This can't stop me because I can't read.
Wait, is that true?
So, yeah.
If you wish to stay here for a while, you can, but just don't steal or rob or break into people's houses, okay?
Yes. We not do so. We only look. Well, and get stuff to survive by.
You could probably talk to our good old tavern keep and tell him you are special guests of us and that he should hopefully provide you with a room then.
Good food. Good stuff.
Do you have any shinies with you?
No.
Alright, maybe this will tide you over. And Yarmos offers them how much would be a good amount because I'm not sure after the turnip incident.
3 GP if you want him to stay for a while.
Alright, 3 GP.
There we go. Shinies.
And since you're curious about our kingdom, why don't you take the time and familiarize yourself with the goings on and the people here? I'm sure you'll be able to try to get over the rocky start you've been having, and maybe they'll be welcoming for you.
Gosh, yes. Perhaps we could stay a while longer. You don't have spies, do you? I am still a very good spy.
We would
We're a little short on that at the moment.
yes, it would that'd certainly be a great windfall, honestly.
Hopefully, you're more subtle if you don't need to keep stealing things to survive.
We did not expect you to have magics of invisibility detecting. You'll be more careful next time. I'm supposed to be the brains, and Prezzel's supposed to be the brawn.
Not much
Anyway.
brawn there, I'll be honest.
Well,
Do you want me to show you? I can show you how much brawn I have.
Do you value your kneecaps, Gaz?
At the moment, I kind of do. I need those for walking.
I'm your equal. Don't forget it. That's enough, Prezzel. Come on, let's go get some drinks. I know you like them.
We should spar sometime. A friendly match.
Of course, yes. Spar. Just wear kneecap protectors. Not one time.
As
Well, that-
Kirik pulls him away.
That went better than I thought it would.
What about how I expected?
Wait,
People can be reasoned with.
We had 2 Spies Witcher, which is honestly a great windfall for us because we were sorely lacking in that regard.
So, with that being said, anything else you guys want to be up to today? You have that planned meeting with this merchant tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah. Yarmos is personally sorely aching for a meeting with Tristian, but that seems like a private thing.
I forget for your group, admittedly. Did Tristian show up at the town hall?
Pretty sure he did.
Yes.
We had him as like in a leadership position
Oh,
for
yes,
a bit,
correct.
The
Yeah.
wrong leadership position, but still.
Yeah.
and
Is it worth switching him into the magister position? you think?
He is a good counselor. He invests in counselor.
I think we talked about this last time, and it was magister.
He
we have a counselor?
is actually counselor, I think.
We do have a counselor, yes.
Yeah, it's Kiba.
Counselor, yeah.
I thought I'm emissary and he's counselor.
Yeah, I was pretty sure he was. Let me look. So,
I think that was
Counselor
what we
Tristian-
agreed.
But
I
that's
think
not
that's
like
what we wanted to
Let
move
me look
everyone
inside
into,
of
but
it.
then we failed the check to actually rearrange our leadership positions.
Maybe,
Oh,
yeah.
we passed the check.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. But for now, let me go look him up. But yeah, you guys do return to the keep here, and also do keep in mind that, well, your inventory does seem to have a lot of treasure and other items, and at this point, you do have the town up to level 5 here for level 5 purchasing. So if you want to do that as well, I've put down the little shops I have.
Oh goodness, I did. Yeah, I did not expect that before this session, so I did not have my list of things I want to buy.
Okay, that's fine.
Level 5.
I guess we can sell the treasure at least.
I can also use the downtime to do a little bit of crafting.
Sure. Let me sell the treasure items. The party inventory has 400 GP in it at this point. Is there anything else you guys want to sell from there, like dancing scarf, stuff like that?
I don't think I want to keep the dancing scarf.
I think like the ring of negative resistance we should keep. Like I think that's
Oh, yeah.
valuable.
Gas is going to craft 2 snares, hopefully.
In one day?
Right. That takes a long while. I don't know how long crafting takes, I'll be honest.
Getting a much needed upgrade to my healing.
I'm gonna right now distribute what you do have between you guys. And we can sell the stuff later. But this can also occur during anything else, so Yarm could have his meeting with Tristian while you guys are shopping.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Alright. Yarmos approaches this Tristian for a private conversation at some point during your stop.
Stepping
in
through the
Skillport.
halls. And he does stop and sort of bows lightly to you. Yamos, hello. How goes your journey?
Oh, Justine, it's gone. It's been quite fruitful as of late, although I do find myself needing some guidance on the matter of, well, communing with Saren Ray and following her teachings.
Guidance. Sarenrae's light shines upon us all. But what specific guidance do you need? What problems are you having?
For someone who's lived in the dark caves for so long, perhaps her light was a bit blinding for me to interpret. Recently, I believe I was cursed by Saren Ray. Received a nasty sunburn for a few days until I suppose I proved myself in repelling the forces of evil. But I still do not quite understand what I did wrong and what Saren Ray wants of me.
Perhaps if you told me what brought upon you Sarenrae's, scalding rays, may be able to help.
It began shortly after we had burnt down the tree of a dryad. A dryad and a satyr who had terrorized an ally of our kingdom, a witch who we consider our friend. They had sunk a town into the ground, and as retaliation, we slew them for it.
You slew them. In any part did you lie to them, or deny them any redemption?
Yes, I suppose I allowed my prejudices to lead me to a conclusion before I really did speak to them for too long. They had lied to us first, and we had interpreted that as a sign of them having something to hide, but perhaps we really did act too hastily.
Even the sun casts shadows. People are allowed to have their secrets. And lies do not always impart evil, though it is against Sarenrae's teachings to lie outright. It is anathema to her.
And yes, it's true. I believe I also did lie in the name of finding justice for the people for the lives lost, the lives claimed by them.
Perhaps then the severity of it made it so that she sought to teach you a lesson. To tell you
It's a lesson.
Your actions may not have been incorrect, but the manner in which you do them does matter to her.
I understand. I suppose this is part of what it means to take upon a new creed. Never have I thought that such a thing would be a sin. My kind can be the duplicitous sort, anything to survive.
Naturally, small one. But Sarenrae's light shines brightly. That makes it a proverbial double-edged sword. It may bring warmth, but it may also burn. If you continue in this path, in attempting to bring light to your former life of darkness, I am certain that she will look kindly upon you, as long as you truly intend right. Every so often, course correction may be required, but at the end of the day, to the gods, intention matters the most.
Thank you, Justine. Full glad am I to have been cursed, for I've been blessed in turn by your guidance and Saren Ray's.
Perhaps it is a blessing in its own right to be cursed. It shows that she sees in you a redeemable quality. Otherwise, she would not bother at all. There are many evils that she does not interfere with.
That'll be all. You being here, I appreciate that a lot. And that's...
Always happy to give counsel. For anyone. Thank you again for housing me here. It's been an enlightening experience in my own right. I will see you later.
Of course. I hope you've not been too busy. Yarmos
Not at
waves him off and returns to the rest of the group as they go shopping.
Yeah. You guys finding everything you want? Y'all here?
Hello?
Find some interesting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I have some stuff I want, but I cannot afford the stuff I want.
We've sold the stuff and distributed the gold from that, right? Already, right?
Yes, it's already distributed.
Yeah.
I want to do some crafting, but I don't know how much crafting I can do in one day.
In one day, you cannot do any crafting unless it's a level 1 item, yeah. Because it's... For crafting, the baseline is 4 of an item equal to your level, and it reduces by 1 for every... Like, it reduces by a day by every level it is below you. So a level 1 item would take you 1 day. Level 2 item would take you 2 days because you're level 5.
Well, in that case, I may as well build one. Just for the heck of it. Let's see. I will craft some blast boots.
Sure.
Actually, the minimum is. Are you using complex crafting rules?
Yeah, the treasure vault, yep.
The minimum is 2 days, but you can make a rush job to reduce that by another 2 days.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna have minimum 1 for now, and we'll figure that out. I haven't looked too specifically into it. But yeah, thank you for, like, letting me know I was incorrect about it.
Yeah,
I have to look into it, so.
You can like actually craft equal level items as well in 1 day, but you have to make a very high check for it.
Okay, yeah. We'll
Yeah,
keep
you can
that in
choose to like increase your DC like with medicine.
mind.
I only have to pay the material cost, question mark?
You pay the full cost. So essentially, discount per day 1 GP means that you can spend 2 additional days to create it at half its full cost.
Ah, gotcha.
But 3 GP is the sort of standard cost. But yeah.
Guys will present Perrin with a new pair of shoes. This'll get you out of a sticky situation if you ever need it. Also, before you ask, no, they will not explode or backfire in any capacity.
Like, these are for parents?
Yeah, I figured they would be helpful. It's an easy, like, 30-foot, or really 30-foot boost, but like, it's an easy high earth jump or long jump without a check.
Yeah, essentially you don't have to stride, and there's no check.
It only takes an action as well.
Ooh, I love mustard powder.
I think that still requires the athletics check, doesn't it?
Yeah, it actually does, yeah.
It does?
Yeah, it only says that you don't require the stride first.
Oh, I see. Underwhelming. But fair enough.
They're level 1.
Level 1 moment.
Well, you can... If you don't feel too comfortable with it, you can always probably just give them to Giraffe or Kiba.
They might be a little bit better at that than me.
Do move your tokens up to maybe the seats up there, to signify you're good to go.
If only we had more money.
Well, you can always embezzle funds from the state treasury, but
Always giving peak political advice.
it's an action in the kingdom turns, but we won't be, yeah.
Yeah.
Either way,
No on funds, just take state funds. What's the population gonna do?
Yarma, I'll put you up there since you might be still shopping,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
everyone
yeah.
else is good. So, I assume you guys are going to just spend the rest of the day, since you already crafted something, guys. The rest of the day just, resting, recuperating from your trials and tribulations at the Candlemere, and waiting the morning where this merchant might come along.
I'm good with that. Is there? Can we do earn income activities at all?
Not in like half a day that you have here.
Okay.
Good after, certainly.
It's certainly a very interesting picture to have the rulers of the land also just out on the streets trying to-
Panhandling.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be panhandling. I'd be going to the tavern and dancing.
So everybody just throws their gold
So
at you
much
while
better.
you're dancing.
Let's hope. I guess I could use that scarf.
Yeah.
Unless anybody wants to make a generous donation to parents, let me buy an item. I would need
How
80
much do you
gold.
need?
83 gold.
83 gold. I can spare that.
Mark down that you're minusing 83 in the chat there, and mark down when you get it, Parenth, or when you just give yourself it plus 83, so we can
Wait,
make sure.
actually, I wonder if I can just.
To completely pretend I'm not sitting on 27 platinum right now.
There we go.
Jeepers.
I actually need
I can just-
3 more gold.
Yeah, I have to do it coin by coin, thanks to
Okay.
the module.
The item I am buying is an endless grimoire.
Okay. It's a very good item. More spells.
Kiba has a shiny new bracelet.
We can slap
Bracelet
as
dash.
many runes on a weapon as we want, right?
So, you get +1, you get a striking, and then those have those upgrades, so like +2, +3, and striking, greater striking. And then there's property runes, like the flaming that's on Kiba's weapon. The property runes, you have amount of slots for property runes equal to the +1. So +1 means you have 1 slot for properties, and so on.
I see.
So,
It's the item for people that were curious about what I was going to get.
Cool.
A little bit more spells. So, as you guys come around in the morning and get yourself ready, you, well, are sort of called down the hall from one of the guards as they sort of report, "My lords, the merchant is here to see you. Shall I let them in?"
Throw them in, yes.
The doors creak open, and you do see a decently portly, but still seemingly, athletic in a way, man step forward with fine sort of garb, fit for a merchant certainly. A bit of a sneer on his face, let's just say a conniving look as he steps forward. "After all this time, you finally invite me. Here, I would have thought my pedigree would allow that sooner."
My deepest apologies. We've been very busy with an infestation of monsters at a nearby island.
"You have been busy, have you? Well, I don't think you have. That's the
Come
issue. Again? Yes. I've been telling the people that there's problems that aren't being addressed around here. People being hurt, monsters on the horizon. Which are all true, by the way. People have disappeared on their way here. Some people trying to settle the outskirts wind up dead. Of course, you can't worry about every single citizen when you have thousands already. But your protection hasn't actually afforded them much. I'm just telling the truth.
So instead of coming to us to talk about your concerns, you spread these issues to everybody.
Well, when can I come to talk to you? When you're always out on gallivanting on some other adventure of yours. In fact, you leave the people of this town adrift without you being here, and the monsters and threats that your kind adventurers bring, well, let's just say that it's a disaster in the making. I'm just telling people what they should prepare for. What they should be worried about.
Your concerns are valid. And I do believe that you speaking with us here is very valuable to us. We may have a fair bit to learn from you.
Well, why have I been brought before you? Have I?
Admitted-
Sorry, go ahead.
Admittedly, we brought you before us to hear out those issues, those concerns you were having, and the issues and the well, rumors you've been spreading. And as we've stated, your concerns are rather valid. Though I do have to ask, what experience of statesmanship do you even have?
I am well traveled. I've worked in the courts of many of the river kingdoms. I know my way around politics. I know how these things work. I just thought that your people might need a little bit of that advice, since I don't exactly see many with my pedigree around here.
We do have a few vacant spots at our court. That is undeniable.
Vacancies or not, this is about security. Just wanting to put the pressure on, perhaps. To let you know that the people are concerned. That they need your... Well, they need you to stick around a little bit more. Not run off willy-nilly into the wilderness. You should stay here. Govern your kingdom.
In the meantime, I do hope you understand that spreading these rumors does create unrest, and the unrest does not create security, merely chaos. What will-
Unrest, you should know, is a vital part of state. It is how the people know, or how you know the will of the people. How else would you? They send
You made a very fair
letters.
point.
What are those letters going to do but lined up in the trash? They have to show it by... Well, can't always be flowers and daisies.
Can I do a sense motive on this guy?
Sure.
The question is if it's their own unrest or your guiding hand. But regardless, if we do stay here to address these issues in a more domestic manner, is that something that will meet your approval?
Perhaps. That remains to be seen if it actually works. But, Parenth, as you try to sort of peer into this guy and see what his agendas here are, you haven't really gotten a lot of this issue from other people that you've spoken to. You remember you were gathering information earlier yesterday. Nobody brought concerns to you, but this guy is talking as if everyone's so very concerned and so worried about it. He definitely seems to be stirring things. More, perhaps, than they really are. To what end? Why? You can't exactly tell.
So now that you've spoken to us, you're going to go back to wherever you came from, or are you planning to live here?
Oh no. There is much to earn in this land. I'm not going to just leave. In fact, my concerns are stated because I am concerned. I'm a concerned citizen of yours.
You do realize the reason for our expeditions is to make this land safer, correct?
Oh, but there are many ways. Some you may not be realizing. Some you need reminding of how to do.
I do think we know what we're doing when it comes to securing threats around our kingdom.
I don't think you do. And I will make sure the people know.
We know very well how to handle physical threats, such as monster infestations in their lairs, etc. There may be other threats here that we're overlooking.
Oh no, you have it right on the head. Monsters, evils from outside. They are a threat and they have caused issue.
Can you describe this evil that you're talking about?
Is the evil in the room with us right now?
How am I to know I'm not some gallivanter? I just hear things. People coming to my shop, telling of stories, poachers, and fur trappers. They tell of the
Well-
creatures out there, how much dangerous it is.
Well, would you be so kind as to refer us to them? After all, a first-hand account is much more useful than what you're saying.
I think better of that. I won't have you hunting down those who provide my information, as I don't think I exactly trust your intentions with that.
How about this? How about we assign a guard to follow you so you're safe all the time?
Oh, it's not my safety I worry about, it's the safety of the realm, the people.
Admittedly,
Are
we
you
were
certain you want? Are you certain you want to live here if you do not trust our intentions? Perhaps you might want to make your profits elsewhere.
There are things that we could potentially do to increase our own security, to be perfectly honest. We could look into building more of a martial force. We could look into attracting more adventurers to the lands.
Spare the details. I will allow you to handle them. Will
Oh,
you?
allow us?
Of course, it is your job, is it not?
It is our kingdom, and you do not dictate what we do. We dictate.
Easy now.
Admittedly, our internal affairs have been under grips before today, though a recent windfall has given us the tools to deal with any internal dissent we might be facing.
Cough.
He is sort of trying to intimidate the fella into maybe stopping his shenanigans for a little bit.
Okay. Roll me a check.
Proficiencies. I want to hero point that immediately.
Okay.
Wow.
Sort of Kansas brow. Is that some sort of veiled threat? I'll have you know that you cannot intimidate the word of the people. Will speak no further to you.
I wish to interject. I do not believe that was meant as a threat. I do believe my friend was simply trying to demonstrate that we have ability to handle various issues that may come up.
Roll diplomacy.
Our reach is a little bit stronger than we may let on. That being said, you've come to us with what I believe may be very valid concerns. Obviously, security of our realm is of the utmost importance. None of us here in this room can deny that. If there are things that we are missing, we will certainly do our best to attempt to work on this. You coming to us has allowed us to finally begin to recognize the problem and try to work that into our plans. However, a mere assurance of that won't satisfy you, will it?
Of course
What
not.
can we do or say today that would put you at ease for the time being?
I don't suppose. Sorry, parent?
Sorry, go ahead. I thought you had said earlier to roll diplomacy or something.
Yeah, do roll diplomacy, Kiba.
Sure.
Okay.
I like it.
I'll let your friend's indiscretions go for the time being. But I don't think that there's anything you could do right now or say that was assuage the fears of the people. I will continue to speak my mind unless you, well, show that you do not follow the river freedoms. As you know the rule. Say what you will. There's a second part, but we can forget about that part. Regardless, there is nothing. I seek results. I will continue my endeavors to make sure that the people know that, well, they should put on the pressure.
I feel like I should be sensing motive as well because it's not like
Um,
parent has gotten a chance to share all of this with us.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, likewise.
Was it perception? I've never sensed this
Always
before.
perception, yeah.
And just so we're all on the same page, what's your name and what's your place of business?
Of course, I am Grigory. My place of business is, well, out of a cart at the moment. Travel a lot, but been staying at the tavern.
And what kind of wares do you sell?
Well, I'm a middleman. Fur trappers come along, I buy it off them and then sell it back to the market because they can't sit around and sell things themselves. They have to go back out and get more.
Didn't we help this guy with his cart forever ago?
No,
No.
we helped the
Unknown.
Jubilast.
the gnome that we have.
Gotcha.
Right there.
Oh no. He just comes out when he hears us talking about.
Yeah, no. For the time being, though, he sort of shrugs his shoulders. And you guys, with your perception checks, both of you, you get the slight sense that P doesn't care about results. For some reason, he's stirring the pot. You don't know why, but he's gonna keep doing it.
I don't think we should outright tell him that we know that.
Yep.
Well, am I free to go now?
I do believe so, unless any of you have objections. I
You've
believe we
always
may have
been-
much to discuss.
You've always been free to go. This is a two-way meeting.
Very well. A pleasure, your baron. Your
Yeah.
barons. Your highnesses, whatever.
Ministers.
And if there is more, I do believe we will know where to find you, and as long as we are in town, you will know where to find us.
Of course. Well, good day. And he will just slightly bow and head right out.
Well, first things first, we have to investigate whether or not he speaks for the people or for himself.
It's for
I believe you all
himself.
agree with that.
I
It's-
think it's for himself.
We were talking to people. We were in the tavern. Nobody was complaining about anything except the kobolds. And this guy. They were complaining about this guy.
If nothing we do is going to sway him, then we'll need to find a way to make him stop. The easiest way is imprisonment, but if there's any other options, I would like.
If we were to simply imprison him, we would make unrest worse, as we would show the locals that we are not reasonable.
We would be able to sick our new quote-unquote spy masters at him and maybe have them try to produce as a leverage.
We have to decide the culture and the laws of this place. Is slander something reasonable to imprison over?
I'm just going to say our reputation will precede us. He can badmouth us all he wants, but if we've done good by this town and the town people respect us, they'll ignore him.
What we need to do instead is figure out what he's up to.
That still sounds like a job for a new spy masters in that case.
I would agree.
we
Especially
can
as
get
somebody
these
in my
couples-
role, I would agree.
Maybe those kobolds we caught earlier, well, not caught, but talked to,
Oh yes,
could be of
those are
assistance.
That is who he is talking of. But,
Yes, I would like to work with him on this.
but do they really have the capability to act as spy masters?
Well,
They
for
will not be
starters,
acting as the spy masters, they will be acting as my men.
for starters,
Let us
they are
see.
not officially under our rule. So any suspicions of them working for us would be Doubtful.
Let us also remember that they're expected to leave within 2 weeks unless we're also going to leave ourselves to deal with the Troll King and his horde.
It's something we should deal with soon. Like they said, growing armies, etc. Could be bad for us.
It's
Hard
still
to-
it's still a situation we can diplomatically resolve, in my opinion.
Do remember that the 2 weeks until the Tree Stalkers are allegedly invaded.
They're returning at the 2 weeks with information. I don't think they're being invaded.
Correct.
That's if we. Am I going crazy here? He did say
So-
that the Troll King said that he's going to threaten the Tree Stalkers if they don't return in the 2 weeks.
Yes.
If they don't
Yes.
return.
So it's
As
not,
long
it
as
wouldn't
they
be
return,
like
they should be fine.
exactly. Yeah, it wouldn't be exactly like
Gotcha.
as soon as that, but yes, there is that threat. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah, that's just what I wanted to convey in character.
Hmm.
But there is one true concern. We're not here often. Most of our good deeds are going to be left unseen, and no one will know. For example, the Gibbering Bathlers that we slew, or the shadows that we dispelled from our nearby Castella.
See, I knew we should
No one
have
will
brought
know.
the slime back. We would have some very solid proof.
What are you gonna do? Put it in the middle of the town square for everybody to see?
But to be honest, you've been dotting the landscape with statues of us, so you have been doing that.
Simply put, governing here is the easiest way to show them that we do care, even if it's not as effective at keeping them safe as it is to go out in the field. But, well,
So what? Should some of us stay here each time we all depart?
That won't be necessary.
I feel like getting a bigger cadre of ministers would definitely be a start for us.
So is this man's issue with us that we adventure? If that's the case, that might give us some insight as to his motives.
It would explain why he wants us to be around more. Or, long shot, he's working with an enemy to keep us here.
I think you're right about that. It's probably
think it's-
working with some enemy.
Do you think he's working with the Troll King of all people?
No, there's no
No.
way.
That would be too
Well-
convenient.
then again, he did quite remind me of Bertuccio in mannerism. Not that they're the same, but you know, seems the Troll King might attract that kind of personality.
Also, I'm concerned that he's alive again, apparently. We should
Yes, that's
probably-
playing on my mind more than anything else, but that's not here quite yet.
I'll remind again that we should probably talk to somebody with the suit scales just to confirm. Do we
maybe-
have like an emissary of theirs, like here somewhere?
Yeah, like I mean, you literally have one sitting next to you, but
He doesn't count.
yeah,
Yeah.
you would have communications back and forth, especially since Yarma's here. So you certainly would. But for the time being, you'll probably have to get answers next time, since we are at the end of the
Sounds
session.
great.
Indeed.
But yeah.
Oh,
Oh, one more thing. For those kobolds, you guys got 80 experience points.
oh, nice. We could have killed them.
Yes. Well, there's non-combat things a lot of the time too, but yeah, killing was an option.
Our group will not kill the kobolds, except for Tartuk, but he doesn't count.
Well, I
He's
mean,
not a kobold.
but yeah, I will see you guys on the stream next time. Thank you guys, of course, for tuning in and all of that. But yeah, we're not gonna do a kingdom turn this time, since we're gonna, upgrade the level of the kingdom, just fast track it, because otherwise it's a grind to get it up to the player's level, and we don't want to do that. So once we do that, then we'll do kingdom turns again. But for now, no need. That being said, if you like the maps that you see during my games, of course, feel free to go to the Patreon and support me there and get them all, like 70 plus of them. Soon to get upgraded, just a little bit more needing there. Also check out my YouTube, follow me on Twitch here, And what's my fourth thing? I forget. Oh yeah, I run games and start playing as well as a professional DM. So, yeah, lots of stuff. That being said, Kiba, do you want to shout out your thing?
I'd love to. Thank you very much. I am Chris Kobold, the player of Kiba, and I am a streamer as well. I stream indie games and retro games. Lately, it has been largely focused on 8-bit and 16-bit retro. Come by sometime. I tend to stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I've dropped my link in the chat here.
Nice. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully I'll remember to put this video up on Monday. Either way, see you guys next time. See ya.
See you.